The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Let's tidy up this tangle of film by putting it on a reel. Here is a motion picture film, 1,000 feet, 16,000 separate photographs.
Welcome, everybody, to the official space section of the chart.
What's the truth? You can't handle the truth.
Sir, you're out of order. Out of order. I show you out of order.
Hey, everybody, I'm Bart.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
No, I'm not. Hey, everybody, I'm actually Michael.
I'm Eat My Shorts.
Wow, okay, and I'm Jimmy.
And we're your real debaters this week, listener. And we're just coming off of last night's Simpsons trivia. And fuck, was it so much fun. We'll get to that in a minute. We'll tell you all about it so that we can make you feel really, lots of FOMO because you missed it.
That's right.
But thank you for tuning into another episode. We're your local favorite cinephiles. Welcome to the place where the art of cinema meets the power of debate. This week on the show, it's the middle of summer. It's like, what is it, August 13th?
I wouldn't even say.
I wouldn't say the middle. I'd say
We're in
we're
the
in
second half?
Third.
I'd say we're in the third quarter.
I always
or-
like to think summer goes until at least the end of September here in town. Like I pretend I'm sure I'm wrong, but
Yeah.
so like June, July, August, September, we're going into the second half because cool nights but still warm
I'd
days.
say Folk Fest is the middle mark.
I agree.
And then after that, you're basically...
Who's calling John Sauter? Who's settling this weather-based debate?
He don't know nothing.
But the point of the show is that it is the summertime, and if you know anything about movie history and movie trivia, you know that the movie Jaws was basically the inventor of the summer blockbuster. It was a complete accident. It's just an incredibly hyper-successful film released between the months of May to September, which is your summer blockbuster
It was
calendar.
a Christmas Day release.
Yeah. Shark Week release on
Yeah.
Christmas
Bruce
Day.
and Jesus have a lot
They
in
planned
common.
it.
But so I decided, I was like, let's talk summer blockbusters. So it's been busy. Some of us have been away. Some of us have been traveling. I got my teeth pulled. Like, it's been a busy summer. So I was like, let's make this easy, and we're going to do a bracket for you if you've been to one of these before. It's 8 movies from our choosing. They might not be the best. They're what we want to talk about. And we're going to do like a little bit community-style, family-style debate here where we're going to go through the brackets one-on-one, figure out who decides to get to the end. And at the end of it, you can tell us if we were right, wrong, or you're indifferent.
Who did you want to throw in?
Right? Who do you think is one of the best summer? Because we've got 8.
We've got 8.
There's a lot that were on a list of 75.
Movies come
Yeah.
out in the summer quite a bit.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems to be a thing.
And we've got
Yeah.
some current ones. I mean, Martin threw in, we've got Deadpool for you, right? And we're all going all the way back to the late 70s with you, with Rocky 2 Charles. Like,
Yes.
There's a
Yeah.
spread here.
Yeah. I mean, Jaws, everybody knows that
It is.
Jaws inspired Rocky too, so...
That's true. That's Rocky
There's
True.
there's a Rocky True. Oh, my God. So that's what's on the show. That's who's on the show for you this week, listener. Before we get into it, like we mentioned, we did Simpsons trivia last night, and fuck, was it fun.
It was great. It was great. It was a lot of fun.
It was great.
People dressed up again.
They did.
Yeah.
We had a Marge.
We did. We had a Marge and a Homer.
We had a Marge
We had
and
a
Homer.
Bart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a Bart.
People wore their shirts. People they show out for
Saw
Simpsons trivia.
Mr. Plow sweater, which was
Oh.
great. Yeah, that was a good one.
I left my self-respect on the floor of Little Brown Jug while you all
did.
insulted me all night long.
That's right.
Listener, if this is your first episode, we did a Simpsons trivia, and this is our new standard. This is the new hotness here at The Real Debaters, where I played against everybody in the room. I was on my own team. It was Team Simp because I was denied The Simpsons as a child. And we've been, if you listen to the show, you know this is a running joke that I outed my mother as the reason why. She even came last night, right, Charles?
She did. That was pretty amazing, and she brought a little posse with her too.
She did.
And
And they walked. They show stopped because they walked in.
yeah.
So she brought signs, everybody, but those signs actually date back to grade 7 when I went to a Kenora basketball tournament. Okay, and she made Panther head signs like our logo, John
Oh,
Pritchard
that's
Panthers.
amazing.
And all the girls basketball team waved them while we were playing.
Right.
And everybody equated our win in that tournament to those signs. So my mother's showing up again with those fucking signs.
That's
What
great.
did they say, Jimmy? What was on the back of some of them?
Oh, they said Homer's a terrible father.
Yeah.
I'm Mike's mom, and I was right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty, but she
Yeah.
walked in while everyone was there. And then
That's
Shauna
right.
came over to me. She's like, "You should tell the story so that no one thinks your mom is crazy right now."
Yeah. Or like people are being really rude.
Like, are they just here to boycott the tournament? Like, what's the problem here? But the point is, it was a lot of fun. We sold out the patio. We had a great time, and we loved the Little Brown Jug.
Yeah, that was
Right.
that was great. They were really great to us.
Team names were fantastic. I mean, some of the highlights. Maybe you guys should take this over because I got how many points did I get out of 4 rounds?
Michael finished with 7 points.
Yeah, that's
7
right.
points.
7,
That's
and
right.
one was gifted,
Yes,
and another
right.
one he cheated to get.
that's right.
Yeah.
And one was by chance because it was 50-50.
Yeah.
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 Well, as soon as you went to like, did they burn the scripts or shred them after every audio recording? I was like, that makes sense. That's protective. You were questioning me that
Right.
round, Jimmy.
Right.
I definitely felt some
Michael's
help there.
paranoia.
But it was a lot of fun.
Burn
it. We listened to everybody's response, and we're gonna do this from now on. So one of us is always gonna be the dunce.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 of us. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's gonna be. We're gonna do a trivia, and then the least knowledgeable one of us is gonna be playing against you to make you feel that you're still a winner, even if you don't know a lot.
Right, and how fun is it to play against somebody publicly and get to shame them? And
Yeah,
it
like you
was
get
a
to
lot of
throw
fun.
tomatoes at me. I'm like the town idiot.
That's
His
right.
car almost got towed. That's how bad it got at one point.
You couldn't have planned that better.
That was beautiful.
What,
That
you know
was
what? I
great.
honestly felt the power shifting when he walked over the first time. When Cole came over and he was like, "So the silver," and I was like, "That's
Yeah.
me. I know I'm not supposed." Because I was kind of like, I probably shouldn't park here.
It was
And
just,
even you said that, Jimmy. You were like, "Are you?"
Right
And then I was like, "Yeah, look." But the 2 arrows were doing the thing. We're no stopping this way and parking over
yeah,
here.
classic parking where it kind of doesn't make any fucking sense. It should just say no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
you'd think because it happens quite a bit in that area, and
Yeah.
they do nothing to change it.
Yeah,
Well, shout out to Cole the entire night. Like at one point, it
Yeah, he
just
was
became a
great.
running joke.
yeah,
Saved us, really.
yeah. Every time he came up on the mic, it was great crowd work immediately because it was just him telling us that somebody's getting towed and or ticketed. Yeah, that was great.
We had a
It was
lot of
great.
fun.
It was awesome. It was awesome. Everybody really enjoyed it. Yeah, the team names were on it. Like that was some of the best team names we've had from trivia. so
Droids from
far.
Sector 7 is a memorable one for me. I don't know why that's funny. But
Yeah,
it's
that's a
funny.
great one. The classic Mo joke, what was it? He's like, I have an ugly butt and I like ugly butts, and everybody
He has an
yeah,
ugly
Butt
face.
smells.
His
Yeah.
butt smells.
That was a great one.
Sisters do it for themselves.
Yeah.
That's
Wish I knew why these were funny.
what was it? Lenny and the Jets.
Lenny and the Jet. That was your wife.
That was yeah,
Claudia.
That's right. Yeah, that was Claudia. That
Oh
was a
man,
really
when
good one.
that
was a good one.
When I referenced Shauna as my wife instead of my partner, everybody at the table was like, "Did you guys get married?" And everyone like turned on Shauna. They're like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "No. I just nomenclature."
You bitch.
You fucking bitch.
They went to Vegas. They got married.
Oh man, do it.
No,
That's the way to
no,
do
I'm good. Everyone else should.
All
be-
that matters is happy. It doesn't matter. Look
Yeah.
at Goldie Hawn and what's his
Yeah.
face. Yeah.
Look
I'm,
at Goldie Hawn.
I'm
Goldie
Kurt
Hawn and
Russell.
Kurt Russell. There
I'm
you
killing
go.
it.
Live it
right?
up, man.
I got my Han. She's
As
got
long
her
as you
Kurt.
guys are happy and in love, who gives a shit?
Exactly. I don't need
Yeah.
the tax break.
Literally, Claudia and I are at the point where she's like, "So what do I change my last name to?" I'm like, "You have to?"
Well, yeah.
Right?
What is this? 1943?
Like,
Are you going off to war tomorrow too, or
I
what?
guess in case I do, we know
Fucking-
she belongs to me.
Please be a cook. You won't survive the front lines. None of us would
That's
survive
very
battle.
True. Oh yeah, we're not winning.
So, what did you say? We were suggested. What 2 were we suggested for next time?
Oh, we're thinking either Friends or Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Okay.
thinking either Friends.
Yeah, Friends is a good one just because, especially like, I hate to say it, but obviously with Matthew Perry passing away recently, people are
capitalize.
Yeah, we got to capitalize on it.
Hashtag that shit.
No, like everyone's revisiting Friends. It's being talked about again, which is nice. And then me and you, Mike, are pretty much obsessed with, like, we know Friends inside out. Jimmy does not at all.
Never
No.
seen it.
So Jimmy
has
gets
no
to verse the
friends.
crowd in
I get it
this,
through
so-
reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
so,
Smelly Cat? Does that?
Yeah, like I know what that is. I know
Okay.
the song, but I
Yeah.
don't. Yeah,
He has
I
a
don't know
cat.
the
He
episode.
knows.
I know.
But yeah, I think that'll be a really fun one. And again, what I like, kind of like Simpsons, is it's a show from a while. Like, it's got some time on it, so it'll be interesting to see the age range.
Yes.
Like Simpsons was really
Well,
interesting, right?
My
Like
nieces love The Simpsons.
Right.
Or, no, sorry, love Friends.
Right.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Quote
Right.
it. And I'm just like, holy shit.
Right.
What sticking power.
It
right.
expands. Yeah,
Right.
There's so many generations.
Like I think because
Like families can come to Friends.
and
Yeah.
I was gonna say Friends wasn't really a show you heard about a lot. Where it was like, oh, my parents said I couldn't watch that show. Whereas Simpsons,
What are you
you
saying,
do.
Charles?
my mom would never let me watch Friends.
No?
It was tough.
Too adult for you?
We just watched The Sopranos.
And then Red Shoe Diaries because it was
Yeah.
Canadian made. My
Yeah,
mom was big on
exactly.
Canadian content.
Yeah.
Then you stayed up late for the scrambled porn channel,
yeah.
right?
That was just called Showtime.
We'd watch that together.
Yeah.
That was the Showtime
How many,
network.
raise your hand if you were
Or Showcase.
masturbating to a dick you didn't know was on screen.
Huh.
Or just David Duchovny.
Or David Duchovny, for that matter, right? I didn't even wait for the nudity. I just was like, David, come on.
Wow.
That's we'll do when we get really
Californication here.
no.
when we get too big for our own egos. We'll do some really niche trivia.
We will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once we know people trust us.
You do like 4 rounds.
It's all
of-
about trust.
Like,
Yeah.
is Pornhub considered a place
no,
for trivia?
you're
No.
not doing porn
No.
trivia. We're
No?
not doing that.
No,
you
people are
sicko.
definitely going to go on their phones.
All right.
So I'd say no.
Can you hear that? That's where everyone stopped listening right now.
Yeah.
My
that was
God.
their mic drop.
What you need to know, listener, is that if you want to know that we're doing this, you can. There's a couple ways you can do this. The link in our bio takes you right to a newsletter you can subscribe to by just submitting your email address, or just follow our social media and subscribe to the show, because it's always in the show notes. It's always online. We're plastering the world with this stuff.
That's right.
So just if you like trivia and you want to make fun of one of us at the same time, or just laugh while one of us is being grilled by the others,
And heck, you might win
Yeah.
a prize.
you might win a prize.
I had great
What were some
prizes.
of the prizes? First prize was
We got a case of beer from Little Brown Jug.
Yeah,
to
Little
give
Brown Jug was
away,
really awesome. They
Yeah.
donated a really great
a couple
prize.
of beer cozies.
I asked
Right.
for 2 beer cozies and got upscaled to
Movie
a,
passes to Landmark Cinema,
right?
Yep.
the Bougie Theater, which you get to enjoy on us.
Lean back, drink
you
booze.
also can win passes to trivia for free, so you get to see us again, which
Yeah.
really is the grand prize. That is the
You get another chance to win prizes
people
for
come
nothing.
for.
We want you to come
That's
back.
right.
We enjoy you. We know you're our kind of
also.
people.
We might be one of the few that allows challenges live
That is,
and group agreements.
yeah.
Which is pretty awesome.
we
We include everybody.
It's a
all right?
democracy.
It is.
we
yeah.
found it was fun last night to be like, would you like to challenge? All right, you need to
Yeah.
speak to the class.
and it was fun. It was really fun, actually. So
And some we agreed on, some we did not.
yeah,
I
which
mean,
was a lot of fun.
You can't host trivia and have the word debate in your name and not expect someone to challenge you. Like that's pretty on the nose.
That's the charm you're coming for with us.
Yeah,
right.
right.
So
Or-
we're gonna have we can have a little bit of a debate when it's within reason.
Yeah.
and it's fun. And then
Exactly.
also you get to verse one of us individually, most likely.
Well, and what happens is that everybody gets a point. Jimmy was just like, everyone gets a point if we're
That's
wrong.
right. That's right.
And I'm like,
Nothing changes,
nothing
but they
ch-
get to feel good.
right,
yeah.
and everybody usually agrees with that, which is great.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, Mike, like you were saying, not only when you guys subscribe to all the social medias, give us suggestions. Is there a show? Is there
Yeah.
a movie? Is there a genre? Is there something you have that you think this would be a good trivia idea?
We would love to
Right?
do it. And then you could pick which one of us you think would, should sit out.
I keep throwing out Battlestar Galactica because I feel like that's a big one that has a good following, and none of us.
Do you
have
want my
seen it,
parents to
so-
always be
But
at these?
will
Like,
those people come outside?
That's right.
Yeah.
that's right. You need to. We could do Portlandia. We'll throw that in the mix too.
It's
They
fake
have a really
grass. You can come. You're not touching real grass. It's
That's
all
right.
fake.
those people don't open the pod bay doors. They
We'll
stay
use
inside.
we'll use clips from Battlestar Galactica if that helps.
Yeah.
We'll use that, and then you guys can watch it and do trivia.
Slight Jeopardy-esque.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
the robot called? A Cylon?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I know there's a lady with a red dress
Though,
on the
you know,
cover of one of the
it's the robot
DVD
with the little
boxes.
laser that moves side.
I know.
Oh, isn't that? I thought that was from Inspector Spacetime.
No, that's Battlestar Galactica.
is-
Inspector Spacetime or
Inspector-
Inspect Her Spacetime?
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Oh.
We're not doing a Pornhub
I'm
trivia.
horny today. I don't
We're
know
not
why.
doing it.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Yeah, we need. Let's. Point
Too
is,
much Simpsons.
trivia is fun.
Jesus.
Come to trivia.
Yes, let us host your trivia. Come to trivia. We'll have a blast, and you get to win stuff.
Ooh, I think it's that time to step off that mortal coil and go into a world of fake, a world of pretend. Eeny, meeny, miny. Jimmy, what'd you watch this week?
Well, the three of us went to go see Trap.
Oh boy, I tried to forget about that. Why you bringing it back, son?
That movie was a trap, hey,
oh,
boys.
good lord, that.
M. Night, man, we love you.
Yeah, but stop
That
making it
just-
hard to love you.
really,
What
dude.
a premise. Really just excellent idea from the start. I think he roped everyone in and maybe the hype was just too much.
I think sometimes he bests himself where he's like, no, I need more twists. And it's like, no, you don't. This was
This was a great
you
twist.
didn't need to.
And
Yeah.
I mean, listener, for if you've just seen the trailer, you've seen the movie.
Like you haven't, you've seen the best parts of the movie.
it's
Yeah.
one of those giveaways.
Yeah.
We
And it's like-
expected more of a cat and mouse game between him and the FBI that we didn't really
Yes.
Spoilers.
And
That's
less random, like, oh yeah, I got to make this happen so that later it's like when he has mommy issues, you guys are like, right, because he saw an old lady.
The only really endearing part of it
really
was,
unnecessary.
I think Harnett being so weird and
He was
off,
great.
and yeah, like I really liked watching him because I'm like, this is not the Harnett I know. Like this, this is not.
He has some Jekyll and Hyde moments, and
Yeah.
they just needed more of those. I think.
agree.
It needed to be more about him. I think.
Story wise, great. Trapped in a building, right? You like the one place. You like the maneuverability of it. Like it's got all of the ingredients, but
Yeah.
it
Just
didn't
felt
taste
like
right.
he rode himself into a corner quite a few
You
times.
said that a lot.
Yeah, it's true. It's
and he plays to. You said what did you say? I said it's got some Norman Bates.
oh yeah, he's got a
aspects
little
in
bit
it.
of Alfred Hitchcock.
Alfred
a little
Hitchcock
Bit, yeah, he's
in
got a little
there.
bit of that. Like when the movie excels, it's great. It just doesn't excel enough, is what I'll say.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
It
points
has some
where
great moments, but they're not enough of them.
they sputter.
Yeah.
It's cool. His daughter wrote a whole album for it.
Yeah, like again, super
she was
talented
great.
family.
Yeah.
She was great.
Yeah.
But then it started being a little bit more about her, and I was like,
Yeah, it
hey,
was
what
a
is this
weird-
movie about now?
Yeah.
Like,
When
is this
we-
about her now? Like, she's helping the FBI?
She just
What
kind
the
of became the main character near the
Yeah.
end of the movie.
And I love how they taught her how to profile so easily. Like, she's like, you're being a good boy just because an FBI agent was like,
Met
talk
her
to her
one
like a
day.
mom.
I
And
was
she's
like,
like,
are-
okay.
Did they tell you like is he a Winter Soldier? Like is he
Yeah,
being
right,
activated
right.
right
Got
now?
activated.
Right.
And I mean
Right.
that I've seen
Well,
that.
when he washes his hands in public places, he sees his mom sometimes.
And-
like, right at the beginning, I was like, hey, M. Night,
Stupid.
whoa.
And you know what? They
Whoa.
top billed Allison Pill.
They
and
really
she was
did.
in maybe
Yeah.
20% of the movie.
And she's great. Don't get me wrong. She's
fantastic.
great. But I feel like he wrote a whole part for her. That, again, another part where he's like, but a twist.
I think they
And-
filmed a lot of stuff with her and cut it
I
because
agree.
when
For
you
sure.
when you get to the end where she's like, I saw this, I saw this, I saw this. I bet you they cut those scenes
Yeah.
and shot them where she finds the note that gave him away. Where
And
she
M. Night's
starts
like,
Right.
I want more of me giving her a T-shirt.
yeah.
He was in the like. I get he places himself in his movies sometimes. That's fine. There's filmmakers that do
He
that.
really
But this one was
yeah.
gross.
That was my big
It was
issue.
obnoxious.
Because Hartnett just stumbles away from his daughter at the concert
Yes.
and just so happens
At
to
what
bump
point? How
in-
many stumbles? Because there was about 12
Well,
stumbles.
when he bumps into M. Night Shyamalan,
Okay,
and
yeah.
M. Night
Yeah.
just so happens to be the uncle of
Yeah, the
Lady
Oh,
Raven, and
yeah.
it's like, what are the odds of that? Like,
Yeah.
did he know that?
I and that's the thing is, so
Because they played it like it was just a chance encounter, but like that's fucking astronomical.
when I got home, I was talking to Claudia about it, and I was like, you know what, Claudia, it's like M. Night just saw Dexter for the first time, and he really was into it, and he's like, I'm gonna do a whole season of Dexter in an episode,
Yeah.
or in a movie. I'll do a whole season because there's parts of it where I'm like, but like this is like literally the first season of Dexter. He's called the Bay Harbor Butcher.
Right.
And in this, he's called the Butcher. And I was like, M. Night, I get it. When I saw Dexter 2, I was like, I'm
This
so
is
inspired. This is the best. Everything's going to be like this. But, like, you did the worst thing, which is you just watched something, you were inspired, and then you wrote something that's just, like, the same crap that's, I don't know. It just reminded, there were parts that reminded me of Dexter, but I was like, not good, though.
Yeah.
Like, you're rushing.
Technically, it felt because like when you say that all the things that he knew, like how he had never been caught, and then was caught there, like how that's the big catch. I know that the slip that bought the tickets was found by somebody that gave him away.
Yeah.
But we're missing all of the calculated stuff that made him smart.
Yeah.
Like, and then when he walks in, he's like, I wanted to get caught. So
we just
like,
watched him push someone down the stairs.
Right?
Yeah,
Like, that was it.
Oh, yeah, and then fucking drop that
The oil
bomb.
into the grease.
Yeah.
I came home and told Shauna that was I was like, you want to know about a kill shot?
Yeah, that was
glass bottles.
fucked.
First of all, who's shipping in glass anymore? But like,
Yeah, but
second
the-
of all,
no
glass
kidding.
bottles and
the whole
hot
thought
oil.
process of that is just like, oh my god.
The shrouds of glass flying at your face, the hot oil.
One of the
coming down
hardest
on your
was when
skin.
she's just the shots of her on the stretcher and
Yeah.
she's still not doing
Well, that's what I
well.
thought we would
that
get
was
more of.
horror. Yeah, that's what I mean. And we did. The movie ends on such a high note, but again, he thinks he's doing a mic drop, but it's like, oh.
Everybody told him you're doing a great job, and no one had the balls to be like, maybe. And,
And his daughter's not going to say anything 'cause she's like in it.
Yeah.
She's a star.
I feel they shot. Like I swear they shot a bunch of stuff, and then the movie was made in the editing room, right? They
Yeah.
were like, shoot it like this, shoot it like a Kevin Feige Marvel show, shoot everything random, and then build
We'll
it later.
figure it out. Yeah.
But that works if you're shooting panel style, right? Like if you're
Yeah.
shooting a comic book, you can do that,
Right.
Because you can be like, we'd rather have it than not,
Right.
But this was like none of what you shot made sense, so you tried to fix it in the editing room.
I think he rushed it. Too.
Yeah.
Like I think he thought the
Yes.
idea was sick, and he's like, let's just make this movie right now, and he
Yeah.
probably wrote it super fast.
Yeah.
I think I read an article where he said he wrote it in like 3 months.
Yeah, see, and that to
That's
me is
really
alarming.
I'm not a writer, but I mean, you
And
hear
I guess
everybody.
that's like the thing he does.
Sure.
Right.
That is what he does with all of his
But
time.
it makes sense
just
why there's
felt
going to
really
be
rushed.
a miss
Yeah.
every now and then.
But if you
right?
took
Like,
6 months, then
Just
it would be better.
If he took a little extra
'Cause-
time, because this movie felt, it really just felt like he thought of the premise, thought this is such a good idea, I got to make this right now before someone
Which it
else
like
does
you know what it
this.
is? It's like when you look at the credits and you see story by, script by. So it's like M. Night, you wrote a good story, but I don't know if that's a good script.
It
Because
almost
even
never
us,
is.
the
Yeah.
dialogue was so bad at
like the
times.
one
Sometimes-
sheet
it
It
sounds
was
great.
worse than he
atrocious.
usually does.
Yeah, like it was bad. Like if this movie came out in the '80s where we had nothing to reference it from, fine.
It had movie
But it
of
was
the week
like,
dialogue.
oh my god, hey, this man was a real gem. Could we keep him? Wow, I could use someone like you on my team. Wow, you guys have great family morals. Really great job. Like, what the hell
I
is
like you
that?
guys.
And then the end credit trailer where he's like,
Yeah, it
God
wasn't-
damn,
It wasn't even.
I'm
that,
never telling anybody anything ever again.
Yeah, it, like wasn't even that funny because you're like, this is. It felt forced in a
Yeah.
way.
It
Like, you
did.
know what I mean?
Like you're not Marvel M. Night.
It's also a weird way you ended it setting up a sequel, and then you're like, remember Reggie or whatever his name was, and it was like, no. Well, I actually
really
didn't care about
I didn't
him.
care at all.
Yeah. Again, Get Out kind of did something similar, and I'm like, I feel like he saw all these movies for the first time, and he's like, I want to make my version of it, and it was just regurgitated.
Maybe he's feeling a little shy next to Jordan Peele's success. 'Cause
But
he's like,
like-
I used to be that guy.
But Knock at the Cabin Door was great. That was
He's-
a really
that's it. And then
surprisingly
Old was
good one.
okay,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
this was bad. But that's
Yeah.
kind of the cycle. That
Yeah,
he
it
does.
is. It is.
So maybe the next movie we
Will
get
be
from
really
M. Night will
good.
be really good.
Yeah.
Maybe The Watchers was good. I haven't seen it.
Oh yeah, his
daughter did that one.
yeah, I
right,
didn't
right.
see it either. Maybe we're missing out on.
But-
maybe we're out of sync with.
Maybe we
the
are.
M. Night.
Maybe we're out of the timeline.
He
Yeah.
did a good job casting Josh Hartnett. He just didn't
Oh, absolutely.
utilize Josh Hartnett enough, in my opinion. Right? Like
Some
when
of-
Josh
Because
Hartnett
we
started
didn't get
getting
enough
really
of the
into.
serial killer
That's
stuff.
what I mean. And when he started getting really into it, like when he
Well-
comes back to the house and he's like really being menacing,
He's got
it's
a shirt
literally
off for some reason.
yeah, it's literally the last 10 minutes, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh,
Finally.
thanks.
And they also could have ended it about
Like-
15, 20 minutes earlier.
Oh yeah. Oh, I personally thought the whole movie should have been at the concert,
yeah, that's
and
kind of what
the ending
yeah.
would be him getting out or not.
Yeah.
But again, cool twist. Halfway through the movie, he just goes up to the Lady Raven and is like, blah blah blah.
You
And he
caught
did
me.
something where you're like,
And
whoa.
to your point,
Whoa.
those are those moments where it's like, oh, it's getting good, and then it fizzles out in the next
Yes.
scene.
Yeah.
Because
You're like,
he
That would have been cool. Go
he's
with
really
that.
good for like South Park did the best impression. He's like, and then they all turn out they're vampires, and they're like, why? I don't know. And that's what I think happened is like,
I
and
don't
then
know.
he gets caught, and they're like, cool. Does it end there? No.
No.
And then what he had after, they were like, oh no, this isn't very good.
How many warm baths?
How many
and-
beaches that make you old out of 10?
Sure. Yeah. yeah.
I'd 4.5 or 5.
Okay.
I really like the idea, and it was fun sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
I just wanted more of Josh Hartnett playing a cat and mouse game with the FBI, and we just didn't get that.
Right. And if you want us to care about an FBI agent, even if she's an old woman, give us some context. That
Yeah.
made no sense to me at all.
My final thought is
It felt like she was trying to be like a Dr. Loomis type.
That's
but
a
I
totally-
never,
but-
I never felt that relationship
know,
between them. Like
I
I don't
know.
know how long she's been hunting him
Right.
for.
It made it seem like this is her first time she's actually encountered him, but she's really good at it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on.
I just needed far less Josh Hartnett escaping scenes. Like, remember, he gets out of the limo, and then he gets out of the
Yeah.
house, and then he
Yeah.
gets like, I'm like, this guy is slippery when wet. Like, you
Yeah.
can't fucking catch him.
Yeah.
The
That
stage
was-
open. Remember when the aisle opens up to release like
Right?
a guest
Yeah.
star?
Hey,
I
let's
thought he
go-
was going to go down there.
Let's go down there. Wouldn't that be so cool? And then we could go down there and say that we did it. And even the daughter's
like,
like,
no.
Dad, are you on crack? Like, what are you
It's like,
doing?
I'm like, what are you talking about? I
All
thought
right.
he was going to just do it anyway.
You're saying out of 10?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Out of
yeah.
10?
We all saw it.
So out of 5, I gave it a 2. So out of 10, I'll say 3.
Yeah.
For Hartnett, for the thing, when M. Night's Shining, like those cool shots we said, the Norman Bates-esque whatnot, when he's doing that, he had me. But
Yeah.
he lost me so much. Then by the ending, I was like, "What is this movie?" Yeah, I'd say like again, I give it like a 3, no more than a 4 out of 10 for me.
I'm a soft 5.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like a 4.8 is what I really am, but I'm just gonna be nice
Like
and round.
Claudia asked
Kinda
if
in
I'd
the same
rewatch
boat.
with her, and I was like, no. I think like I'd watch everything at the concert. For me, that was the best stuff. And then the minute
Like,
they
you're on
leave,
your own.
I'd be like, "Okay, it's all you now. You can watch the rest.
I'm gonna go to the
good.
bathroom.
Yeah, I'm good now."
Charles, what'd you
Yeah.
watch this week?
I think I have 2 fun ones. The first one I'll say
I think they're fun.
is very quick because it sucked. Jackpot with Aquafina and
Oh, you watched
John
it?
you
Cena.
watched it.
Oh my god!
Didn't even know that was
Don't
being
do
made.
it. Don't do it. John Cena's great. He always
The
is.
premise sounds fun. You win
It-
the
you
lottery,
would
but
think
then
it
you
would.
need someone to protect you from.
So
being-
the actual scenes that embrace the Zombieland-esque of just mobs chasing, very fun. John Cena's great. He fucks people up, which is awesome. Simu Liu is a really good villain. He should play villains more.
okay,
But
and that's
overall,
Aquafina and him again from
yeah, which was
Shang-Chi.
fun.
Yeah,
And he's the bad guy. So like, yeah, and he's really
Okay,
he's
that's
a-
pretty sweet.
He plays like a Chad, like he's an asshole. They just make like he was really fun, John Cena, but overall it was just like kind of like Trap. I'd be into it, and then oh my god, what is this like character building? No one cares. No one. I'm gone. Oh, cool action scene. Okay, I don't care anymore. Yeah.
it was formulaic.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was an easy prime throwing something out. Hey, John Cena, we have you on contract for one more movie. This is the one.
Kind of feels like
That's
yeah.
it.
Prime's movie of the week.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
his most earnest movie though. Like he is this big bulky I'm bodyguard, but he's kind of like earnest. He's so like nice and
Oh, okay.
Really?
yeah, and kind of clueless. I literally told Claudia, I
More
was
than
like,
Ricky Stenicki.
I literally told Claudia, I was like, man, if he was ever going to play Ernest, this is like, I think we're getting there.
Like, is he scared
yeah.
stupid or does he save Christmas?
He's just kind of like save Christmas. Like he's like a dumb
Thank you.
idiot.
He's not gonna
But
play
yeah.
Ernest.
And he gets like, you know, when he gets caught, he's like, oh no.
Why couldn't he be a Jim Varney? I could
think I would
totally
be-
see him being earnest.
Even if it's
Because
a
he's
skit.
fucking 250 pounds of muscle.
If SNL does a skit, I'd be okay
That
with
would be
that.
very
That would do
funny.
it. That would do it for me. Yeah.
Ernest scared
But it was
stupid.
just
Ernest
Yeah.
gets jacked.
yeah.
Ernest does steroids.
Ernest gets
Ernest
yoked.
Ernest is a wrestler. Ernest does wrestling.
Ernest body
Oh, they
slams.
do make a funny joke. They say something in it where she's like, oh, I don't really watch a lot of movies. Like fucking wrestlers are movie stars now. And John Cena's like, yeah, it's getting ridiculous or something like that. That was funny. But yeah, no, for me, I was like, I didn't need to see this movie. It's not worth it. I don't think.
What was the other one?
This was really good. The Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders.
You're the second person who said that. To me.
Fucking great docuseries.
Is it in
Really
the same
good.
vein as like F1 and all the other stuff that they do?
I
where
haven't
they-
seen those ones, but like it's just
It's just a good Netflix.
it's really well
documentary.
done. It
Okay.
gives you a really good insight of what the cheerleaders do and how they do it, and also just how they're humans.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, I'm a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, and I'm married to this fucking idiot.
Yeah. Well, and like also the fact that they're like
Please tell me that's how they do the roll call.
Yeah.
they're brainwashed a lot, in my opinion. I do believe it's an honor to be a cheerleader, and it's a legacy.
I'm from Iowa.
But they don't get paid very well, and they're brought up on the idea of like, but it's a privilege to be a cheerleader. I'm like,
No,
I
that's
could say
how they
this,
get you.
I could say the same thing about being a fucking football player and playing for the
It's a
football
It's a
team.
privilege to be on the Real Debaters. Guys.
And there's like, well, yes.
Yes, obviously.
This
But
is a
there's like,
privilege.
there's a whole like
We gotta talk about my
episode about
salary.
how they get injured too, because the shit
Yours.
that they do is like,
I don't even get one.
What
it's
about
just
our
it's
benefits,
crazy.
Mike?
It's crazy. But like I loved it. It was really well done. I just feel like they are athletic. What they're doing is athletic.
Maybe this will put it.
I
like
wouldn't say
a-
it's not athletic what they're doing, and they should get paid more.
Put it
It's
on
dangerous
blast.
as
But yeah.
hell.
Yes.
Maybe this will put it on blast, and then it'll make people recognize that shit, they do deserve to
But
get
it's really cool. They take you like the beginning of the season as the new rookies that are going to join.
Okay, so this is just like
and then
F1.
it takes you to the end.
and-
It's
okay,
really
yeah,
good. It's
yeah.
really good.
paid. That's pretty sweet.
I was blown away with it, man. It's actually, and it's Netflix. It's really well made.
Yeah.
But it's good, and you can't help but laugh. Like there's this girl Reese on the team. She's all about like she's a good Christian girl, and I dance because
Yeah.
of Jesus. And it's
I
really
shake
funny.
my ass for the Lord.
Well, it's funny because she's
I
like,
twerk it
my
for
dancing
Sundays."
is. I like to think my dancing is Jesus talking through me, and I'm showing my booty a little bit. Right? It's just funny, and then
It's pom poms and songs,
SNL did a really
baby.
good spoof on Cheer, like that other cheerleading show. But the thing that I love is
Oh, the one that had all the pedophiles.
Chloe, mine and my favorite SNL member. She has a really funny part where they're like, It just reminded me of this Christian girl. Like, your leg's broken. What did you do to fix it? Prayer. And they're like, all right, you're on the mat. And like, this girl is like that. Like, every time
You're
she
on
goes,
the mat.
every time she goes on screen, and she's very sweet. She's a good Christian girl. I can see that. But you can't help but, like, every time I would just look at Claudia and be like,
oh, honey.
prayer. I would just do that every time. I think I'm really nervous about making the team, but I know prayer. And it's like, I just can't.
Can
but
I
yeah,
can
it's
I ask
great.
can
It's
I
great.
ask you though? What's her name?
Reese.
Reese. Can I ask you? Prayer might make you feel better, but could we just run an X-ray? Can we just run that by the
Jesus didn't have X-rays, so
That's
no, I'm
true.
a
I
pray.
know he
I'm a
didn't.
pray on it.
Okay.
I'm a
I'm
pray.
I'ma pray.
I'm a pray on
We
it.
pray on that quick.
Oh, and they always say yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, to like the captain,
To the coach?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Like, they'll be like, Kimberly, I like your kicks, but you look miserable. You got to have a smile. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You look miserable.
Is something wrong? Is something happening to you? And they're like on the spot, like in front of everyone.
It's your triangle
It's
of
wild
sadness.
Because then they go and say-
it is. It really is.
But you know
at
what they do?
times.
They go. I bet you they say something like, "We're all a family.
Yeah,
We're all
'cause
one big
it's,
family."
Well, one episode's
We're a
called
cheer
Sisters
family.
for Life.
Is
Yeah.
there something
The
going
title
on
of one
at home?
of one.
When you use dangerous words like family and cheerleading at the same time, I'm
But they
fucking
do-
sorry.
Like
they have
Olive
a-
Garden.
That's culty.
they have a good episode. It's like telling them about how they can't use their like real names. They shouldn't be using their real names on their social media and that because stalking
Oh,
and
dear
stuff.
God.
And it shows them
Yeah.
doing press junkets, and fans, like old dudes, are coming out to do the photo op, and there's a guy there that anytime they try to put their hand whatever, that guy takes the hand off and is like, no touching, and they give them a football so that if they don't know what to do with their hands, because that's apparently a lot of their complaints, or like, what do? I just put my hands in my pocket? Yeah.
Yeah, sure, man.
Fucking do whatever you want
Whatever.
except touch these girls. So they give him a football
What would
because
you-
subconsciously they're like, yeah. And you see it. It's like, I hate to say it, but it's like fucking monkeys in the zoo. Like, they grab
Jeez.
it, and
Yeah.
then as soon as they're done taking these photos, they're like, I love you and everything you do, prayer. And they like walk away, and these girls are like, thank you, bless your soul. But I can see how like it's so scary to do that too.
Jeez.
Yeah.
She's like, bless
And they're
your
not getting
soul.
paid enough.
No, and seriously, what did one girl say? She said the way she made it, because they can't say exactly, obviously, because NDAs and they don't want to get fired and stuff.
Right.
But she's like, it's the equivalent. She's like, I make less than a cashier at Chick-fil-A.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
And that was just to give you context.
So what do cheerleaders
When
do?
you're on a national platform.
So
like-
the idea is, I guess, like influencers, like you'll get sponsorships from it. You'll get dancing contracts
stupid.
from it because
Well, no,
you
hang on,
have
hang on.
this.
If you're
I
a
think it's
cheerleader,
insane.
That's absolutely insane.
Yeah, why do the players get paid? I could make the same argument.
nuts.
It's an honor to be QB for the Dallas Cowboys.
But he's getting
It's
$400
a
million.
privilege. Right.
is there
It's insane.
is there an episode where they tell what football player is the new daddy? Does that happen at all on the show?
I don't think that happens as much as you think it
No.
does.
No, I know it doesn't.
But no, it's they give you an idea.
I'm horny. I'm sorry.
They give you an idea of
Do you
how
need to
these
get
girls.
in the other room here?
Yeah, we could do this like through. We
Jesus.
could. He
Do you
has to go on
Do you want
Zoom.
to do this later?
We'll do it on Zoom.
Jesus
You have to
Christ.
be on.
Yeah. All right.
No, but it's like they give you. They show you
They show you the world.
how these women are intrigued by auditioning to be on it, because it isn't for money, and they know that going in. It's for the legacy.
Right.
And what's crazy is some of these girls are like, my mommy was actually a Dallas cheerleader in the 82. And then
legacy.
it shows. And you're like, damn. And then the mom's there, old now, being like, come on, sweetie, make the team. And you're like, that is
I wanted
wild.
to make the team.
It's wild, man. It is. It's cool. That's why I'm like bringing it. I told Claudia, I was like, I really hope Kirsten does. I really hope they do a Bring It On, because this is like, they could do this.
Oh, it sounds like it's been.
They
brought
could
in.
do it like this, literally. But yeah,
That's
it's
funny.
Okay.
But it's worth a watch. It's really well made.
How many?
Oh,
how many
I'd
blue
give
and white
it-
pom poms out of 5?
I'm gonna give it, and you'll know when you watch this. I'm gonna give it 9 jump splits out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah, craziest
I mean, if
move
it's-
you learn about how what they do. They have to do it. It's a Dallas Cowboy legacy move. They jump in the air and land in the splits. It's called a jump split, and they talk about serious injuries from doing that over years.
I would imagine.
Didn't
Yeah.
the hypnotist make you do that, Mike?
That was a jig. But I mean,
would love to
It
see
tore
Mike do
both
it.
of his groin.
it's
I looked at Claudia. I'm like, can you do that? She's like, I can't even do the splits.
No.
It's like, Jesus.
well, physics alone, being in a split position, landing on the inside of where all
wild.
of your
Yeah,
ligaments
yeah.
are, you're gonna do some
and
damage.
you see, like, their first practices, they have to all be
Oh.
on time, perfect. And there's one girl that's faster than the other, and they're like, nope.
You're done.
Yeah, man, it's fun. And you hear the sound of when they land on the split, and you're like, it's like a tackle. You know when you hear
Well,
the
it's turf.
Yeah.
It's artificial turf.
Yeah.
It's not grass, so it is
It's-
not forgiving.
and again, they have to do it in those uniforms.
Yep.
So that's another thing is like, so when they first audition, it's on like a ballroom floor. And then when they do that same routine on grass, some of the girls start sucking because of the difference
Yeah.
of going
You're
from a
used to one thing or
ballroom to
another.
turf. And I never thought of that.
Well, I think
And
of it
I'm
like
like, holy
tennis,
shit.
where like you play on clay or you play
Yeah,
on grass
that's
or
a
you
good
play on
point.
turf. It's all different.
That's right. That's right. So it's really, like, again, it's really interesting. And it's just, I find it, what I was really fascinated by was the idea of, and again, I'm not trying to shit on it. I just find it interesting that these women are getting injured. They're doing the same thing athletes do.
They absolutely are.
And they're there for the honor and the privilege, but
But how come if you said that to one of the players
that's
during
what I'm saying. They tell you to go fuck yourself.
They would tell you to
Of
go
course.
fuck yourself.
Of course.
Yeah.
And that's how they'd be able to get more money because they're like, I'm carrying the legacy and the blah blah, and
It's
they
like
would
there
get
are
paid for
hundreds
it.
other dudes
Right.
out there that can do exactly what you do.
And I just kept saying to Claudia, I'm like, I don't understand why it can't be both. Why can't they get compensated and have the legacy? That doesn't take away from it. But like, a lot of these girls are like, yeah, I'm a nurse, I'm a healthcare provider, 9 hours during the day, and then I go practice in the gym, and then I just go to all the meets on the weekend. And
That's
I'm like,
nuts.
yeah, how come none of these football players are doing that? Fuck. It's just,
right.
that was the craziest thing to me. They're definitely athletes, and they should be compensated
All the
as
Lions
athletes.
players have to work the line at Ford.
Yeah. I got to go do my overnight shift at the drive-thru at Burger King so that I can play on the weekend at the Super Bowl.
You guys want to know what I watched?
What'd you watch?
Mike, what did you watch, man?
I watched the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, the new Guy Ritchie movie.
Is that one he wrote and directed as well?
It is, my friend.
Nice. What'd you think, Mike?
Mike loves Richie, and Mike loves jacked burly guys.
I'm a rock and roller.
Rock and roller.
I loved it. Okay, here's what it is. It's the Bastards' true version. It's Inglourious Bastards. It's the ideas that the Inglourious Bastards took, except in Inglourious Bastards you get the American counterpart working with who Michael Fassbender is in Inglourious Bastards.
Yes,
is
right.
based on Gus March Phillips,
Englishman.
the first real guy to start the Ministry. Saboteurs, dark arts,
Wait, they're doing
Voldemort.
magic?
Voldemort.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, like, no,
What do you mean by dark arts?
Nazi magic.
I mean Harry Potter shows up in this movie, guys.
No, he doesn't.
No,
but what do you mean by dark arts?
Nazi magic, probably?
spying, sabotage,
The Covenant.
like just basically screwing with not playing nice because
Okay.
it was at the point in the war where London or England was like they're on our front doorstep. So there's an operation.
So Churchill's pissed.
Churchill's
We don't wanna
scared.
die.
Yeah.
And Churchill's doing all this behind cabinet doors. Nobody
Right.
knows this is happening.
Right.
He says if you guys take this mission on and don't complete it, torture and death are heading your way. And it's about sabotaging the neutral position the Nazis have with the U-boats in Spain. They're sent there on a fishing boat to go in and blow up the resupply lane.
That's fun.
And take out the U-boats. When they take out the U-boats, that brings America into World War II.
Right.
Cummins saves the day. They'll get arrested, but
Well, they tell you they came in.
Churchill pulls some strings,
Right.
and but it's fun. It's cheeky. It's back to basics with Guy Ritchie. It's very lock stock.
How is Henry? How's the
Henry-
Calvarine?
Henry is psychotic.
Yeah.
Henry has no emotion. Okay, so this is what's going to shock you.
Is this a movie or a show?
It's a movie.
Okay.
The cast, Ian Fleming is in the movie.
Oh, cool.
Ian Fleming was a naval intelligence officer in the British military.
Mr. James Bond.
Ian Fleming based James Bond off of Gus March Phillips.
And that's
Oh,
Henry
yes.
Cavill.
That's
Yes.
Henry Cavill's character.
Yes.
Because when you
Yes.
meet him, I don't know if you remember this in remember when Fassbender and Myers meet?
Oh, and
they're
Inglourious.
having the drink talking.
Yes.
That's the same scene where you meet Gus March Phillips in this movie. He's in front of a bunch of
And
people.
Churchill's in the back just smoking, right?
Churchill's not in the scene. It's M
Oh, yes.
from
okay.
British intelligence.
Right.
It's Ian Fleming, who's M's right hand.
Right.
It's this Spanish girl whose name I can't remember. Maya something.
Isn't it like Elsa?
Maybe it's Elsa. I'll get
She
it
was in
here.
Baby Driver. That's what I
Isa
remember.
Gonzalez.
Yeah.
She's a smoke show in it. Oh my God, she's fantastic.
Don't get me started on Calvarine.
But they form a team, and then they go on this mission. Half of it's on land, half of it's on sea, but it's based all on truth.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's just 5 people taking on like 300 Nazis that were only supposed to be 5, and it's this fun mission.
Were
It's
these
awesome.
guys really that jacked and handsome?
They were not.
Okay.
They do the credit roll in the end of the movie.
They looked a lot
and
like-
you see their real picture. So Alan Richardson's
great.
Anders Lassen character
Yeah.
is like 1/16 of his size in real life.
They look like Conan O'Brien when he's playing the Old English baseball. Yeah.
Like, it is just fun. I did the watch that I like doing. I watched the first third of it 3 times, and then I let it roll into the 4th. I've learned that that's how I really get sucked into a movie now.
I like that.
So I let it go, and I'm kind of half paying attention. Then I take it back, start it again, take it back, start it again, and then let it roll out.
That's frustrating.
I know it is, but I'm usually doing something in the background of it. But
So do movies in the theater drive you insane?
No, they don't, because I'm
Okay.
there for a reason.
Michael needs his iPad time when we're at the theater.
I need to go during the day with the lights on.
Yeah.
I need to be
He's
preoccupied.
screaming.
But like
That's great.
it's Henry Cavill at his best. I mean, he's charming, but he's very James Bond. It's the closest we're ever going to get him to be
To
James Bond.
Day.
Maybe this will lead to that.
But he does this thing
Or at
when-
least a villain. I'd love to
Right?
see him even play a villain.
like
Yeah.
it's one of those scenes where Churchill's like, "Well, what do we do?" And M's like, "Well, I know a guy. You might not like him." And then they bring him in. They free him from jail. They bring him into a room. He goes across the table, pulls out the bottle of Johnny Walker Red, starts to drink it, puts it in his pocket. Then he pulls away a couple cigars, puts more in his pocket,
God, that's
pulls a chair
hilarious.
while they're all talking. They're like, he's such an idiot, plants it down, sits 2 feet from them, continues having a conversation, looks across the table, sees some guy's lighter, grabs it, looks at Ian Fleming, looks at him, puts it in his pocket. He just keeps stealing
That's
shit
great.
in
That's
the
great.
in the opening scene.
He's
Then he-
hoarding everything.
and then he looks at M, and M's wearing a coat, and he's like, "That's a really fantastic coat. I must get myself one." Next scene, wearing M's coat as he
Yeah.
walks out.
That's great. That's
it's
great.
It's funny. It's cheeky.
So it's good Guy
it's
Ritchie.
good Guy. It's not
Yeah.
Aladdin.
Oh God, it's
not
right.
Aladdin.
He did do that. Jesus.
It's. I mean, it's not even like. I mean, I do like Sherlock Holmes, but
I really like the Sherlock Holmes movies.
it's not true It's film Guy Ritchie. Like
Yeah.
his cut shots and everything.
Yeah. You said it's like Lock, Stock during the war, pretty much.
Exactly.
Which I love. I think that's
Exactly.
great.
And like some of his other favorite players are in it. What's his name?
Is Vinnie Jones in it at all?
Babs Olusunamakin. You've seen him in other stuff. Did you see Is it not Man on Fire? The one he did with
Denzel?
not Denzel. No,
Because that's Man on Fire.
the
That's a
last
great
movie he did
movie.
was for Netflix, and it was about a guy who was an underground crime boss.
Guy Ritchie?
Guy Ritchie did this.
Oh, the bees thing?
Not
no,
the beekeeper.
Gentleman?
Bees?
Not gentlemen.
Bees?
I don't think Job's on board.
God damn it! What's his?
Not the beekeeper, not the gentleman.
He was a gentleman.
Anyways, it's
beekeeper.
better than Aladdin.
It's way better than Aladdin.
Okay, good.
It's fantastic.
How many Aladdins out of 10 do you
How
give
many
it?
magic carpets do you give?
I okay, hang on. I give this, and when you guys see it, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I give this 8 Nazi leather coats out of 10.
Okay.
That's good.
Like
okay.
he runs into the rooms on the bases, and like one guy's telling a joke, and he's like, and then the guy, but it's this German being like, and then the guy realized it was his mother, and we all had a laugh. And then Gus comes marching in with everybody, and he just starts. He's like, and he just levels the
great.
whole room.
Oh,
It's-
that's great.
Anders Larson doesn't use guns; he uses knives. And
Oh,
he uses a
nice.
bow and arrow
Yeah.
as a sniper rifle.
Oh, my
The
God.
stab sequences, like they tell him in one scene, "Don't be greedy."
Yeah.
He kills like 14 guys in the bottom of one of the
That's
boats.
awesome.
So did that really happen?
I mean, he was known for being violent in his killing methods. I don't know if he has the belt notches
you
that
know-
the
Right.
movie gave
Okay.
him.
It's kind of like the Bible. Like, according to Luke,
Yes.
this is what happened.
Okay.
The operation's real. You can Google the operation. Everybody, and I mean, Isa's character ends up marrying Gus March Phillips.
They
after
just
they
fluff
get out
it
of
up
the
a
war
little.
together. They
Yeah.
do, right? They
Yeah.
make
Which
it.
I mean is, again, that's kind of
They make
your-
it
It's a
handsome.
movie. Yeah.
It's
I was
a
going to say,
movie.
it's kind of a movie's job.
So you gave it
Right.
8 Wolfenstein games out of 10.
8
Wolfenstein?
eight twirly mustaches on Henry Cavill
I
out of
love it.
10.
Naturally.
Like when you see Gus March Phillips, you'll be like, oh, they made him sexy.
Did they
Which I
CGI
mean-
the mustache on?
No, that's a real one. That's a real one. Yeah.
Funny that you mentioned that too about Wolverine. He said he made sure to shave the mustache for it. It's really funny.
No one will forget that.
That one was
fucking
Smoked
series.
that cigar for 8 hours that day.
Yeah, that's right.
Didn't
that's what he
have
said.
to do that.
That's right.
Anyways.
They're like, Henry, you're not on set until like 4 hours from now. He's like,
Bub, give me another Cohiba. Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime. Watch it. You'll have a good time.
I will.
I need to because Jackpot. I need something to make up for Jackpot. So
Well, I can watch that. Monkey Man. Like, they got a lot of stuff on Prime right
Monkey Man. Yeah,
A lot of stuff dropped.
now.
in the
Twisters
last
is
week.
already on digital.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, Rings
They-
of Power's coming out.
They
I'm
gave
really
Twister
excited for that.
3 weeks in theaters.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's stupid.
Nuts.
I
You're not even
think
going to give it a month?
they basically. I get it, but they were like, oh, Deadpool and Wolverine's out. Okay.
Okay, but they knew that was going to happen.
I know.
Like, that's
I know.
on you.
This is why it's getting to a point that
And-
there shouldn't be a blockbuster summer. It should just be all year.
And that's even more reason why they should have left it in longer.
That's what I'm saying.
Because after
Yeah.
everybody has seen Deadpool and Wolverine, they're going to go back to the movies next
Or
month.
just coming
yeah.
back from the cottage, they want to catch up, right? Yeah, that's what it used to be.
I know.
Movies used to do that.
Jimmy,
It's streaming now.
You can come out at the same time. People are going to see
Yeah.
more than one movie.
Yeah.
Jimmy, what time is it?
It's debate time.
Is it debate time?
Ba-na-na.
At my signal, unleash hell.
Push it. Don't push it. I'll give you a war you won't believe.
Goldstein, give me a fat beat to beat my buddy's ass.
I know what kind of guy you were. I never would have agreed to work with you.
Are you gonna bark all day, little doggy? Or are you gonna bite? What was that? I'm sorry, I didn't catch you. Would you repeat it?
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
And it's exactly what you're talking about. I mean, we should have a conversation about why the Blockbuster might be the dying. Like, I mean, it was
Because they kill each other.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. Like, there's really no way to stay
But
in the
it's
theaters.
this now. There's this second wave of Blockbuster on streaming, and now they're money hungry. Like even Deadpool and Wolverine. I guarantee you by next month it'll be on Disney Plus.
So, listener, if you skipped to this part of the show, that's totally fine. We, as mentioned at the top of the show, we said that we were going to bring you a bracket-style debate of 8 of our favorite summer blockbusters, and we're gonna see if by the end of this that we agree that the summer blockbuster title maybe should go away. But at least for now, we're gonna celebrate the previous winners of this glorious title. So
And
we've
we
got.
do have a couple of suggestions from Martin, too. May he rest in peace.
We are proxying him today. Yes, he is.
He's not dead. We just want him to get a good night's sleep.
I
And we want
swear-
him to rest.
Yeah, my guts are sore. Is I'm hungover. Like let's just
My
all-
guts are
Like,
sore.
shot of Pepto. Let's
Oh,
get
that's
moving, Martin.
Great.
The whiskey made my guts sore. Right.
That does
I think
sound
of
like
like
Martin.
Saving Private Ryan where they're hanging out. My
Exact-
guts are
yes.
sore.
Yeah, it's
You're going to make it.
It's like Giovanni Ribisi dying in the middle of Saving Private
You're
Ryan.
going to make it.
Mama, my
Nice-
guts, my guts.
Nice pool. You're going to make it.
So first up,
be
listener,
just fine.
we got
You don't regenerate?
we got seeds 1 and seeds 8. We've got Terminator versus Deadpool.
Terminator 2.
Oh my god.
Terminator 2 specifically. Thank
Yeah.
you. That does
Versus
change the
Deadpool
conversation.
1.
there. So Charles, you
Yes.
you had Terminator 2. That was your pick. Martin picked Deadpool. Which one do we want to talk about first?
Let's start
Well,
at the top.
we'll let Martin take Deadpool.
Okay. Martin, go ahead.
Martin, floor is yours, Martin.
Ooh, I guess that's a forfeit.
Well, let's just talk about what we liked about Terminator 2 and what made it a summer blockbuster then.
Well, okay. So
Oh, wow.
release date, just for listener, July
That's a really
3rd.
loaded question.
That's
Yeah.
that's so. I mean, that's Independence
dead
Day
summer.
weekend. That's dead summer.
What year
Yeah.
was that? 90...
92, I think it was.
92.
92.
I think
yeah.
it was 92 it was
Yeah.
released. Yeah.
I think so. You got it there. What is it? I was reading Back to the Future by mistake.
And you know what? It kind of is
oh,
Back to the
actually-
Future.
So sorry about that. That's gross. I was wrong. It was 91. July 2nd, 91.
91.
Wow. So yeah, Independence Day weekend still.
Yeah.
Which is a big release weekend. So
Jeez.
Also,
Easily, yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just reading the Michael was amazing in printing off the poster.
Yeah.
The tagline for Terminator 2
What
is
does it
it's
say?
nothing personal.
It is very personal with John Connor.
It's the worst tagline
it's
for
his
that
life
movie.
or death
I'll
scenario.
be-
That's very
he
personal.
is back would have been better than it's nothing personal.
It is very personal.
I'm back would have been better than anyways.
I mean, it
that
has,
doesn't make any sense.
so stupid.
Like, I know he's a robot, but it is very. They are specifically killing John Connor.
Putting
because
this
of
as
who
the
he is
sequel
and
to
who he will
Terminator
become.
would have been better than it's nothing
But
personal.
let's talk about
I'll be
that.
back, maybe.
Yes. Yeah.
I came back.
I'm back.
I'm here.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here
I'm
I
here.
am.
But let's talk about that. Let's talk about how the hype from the first one set this one up to be a summer blockbuster.
100%.
Yeah, and
Where
what's-
everything else is standalone, this is the cheat code essentially.
Well, and like
Exactly.
there's a like
Set up
I don't
for
know
positivity.
about you, Mike, but I grew up where I didn't know there was a Terminator. I just knew Terminator 2.
Me too.
That's
Me too.
funny.
It was like Terminator 2 was just Terminator for me, and then I found out at like age 10, age 12
That Arnold's
there
the
was
bad guy.
a Terminator, and I was like, what? Like
the
I had
perfect killer
no-
came before.
So this, for me, the Terminator 2 is my favorite one. It always will be.
Yeah.
And I didn't even, again, I didn't realize I knew it was Terminator
Well,
2.
and you relate to the kid, right?
Totally.
When you saw it.
You wanted to be John Connor and have your own
Yeah.
Terminator.
Well, and
yeah.
things that define a summer blockbuster: big explosions, lots of like action sequences. Like
Yeah.
a blockbuster is never going to be the King's Speech.
Practical action.
Yes, right.
Practical action. That
Right.
helicopter chase scene that
Also,
Cameron
at-
got in and was like,
insane.
"If you're not
At
going to
this
film it,
point-
I'll fucking film it."
At this point, too, in time, what made a blockbuster was having Arnold.
Yes,
You
Big
had
time.
Arnold in
Yep.
it,
a
and
big
you're
name,
going for
right?
blockbuster. Yeah.
Or OJ.
Oh my God. Right.
OJ couldn't be a
Naked
killer.
gun.
So you've got one thing. You got the precipice of Terminator 1 setting this
my
up,
God.
but then you could have had a complete flop if OJ was in it. Can you? It would not
Right,
be
because that was the original. They wanted OJ for
What year was
Terminator.
OJ?
I mean, OJ was supposed to be the other.
No, I know, but what year?
I think, it was 94 is when
Oh,
OJ
okay.
went
So we would have had
murder.
Terminator 2.
And then it would have been shelved. No one would have been allowed to talk about that movie.
Yeah.
It would be completely dead to the world.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have Salvation.
and
James
no one.
Cameron would have quit filmmaking, probably.
Well,
so.
and nobody would be right saying there's no way he's a killer.
Yeah. Maybe that would have made them.
misunderstood.
That might have made it more popular.
Right?
Oh
Could
my
have. Yeah.
God.
Think about that.
It could have come out of the woodworks and been like the
Oh,
cult
he is a
classic.
killer.
Because I mean, it is there by definition. It is what set the '90s sci-fi for the tone.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think Terminator
future
2
robots, past, dead kids.
It also, like, Terminator 2, in my opinion, made it where it was like, oh, the sequel's better. Like, that was the
Yes.
first time we were
Yes.
looking at franchises or movies where we were like, wow, the sequel's better. And people started looking at all sequels to be like, is it... Because
Maybe you're right.
Yeah,
Maybe
Terminator
that
2
just
was
set
wild.
it too high of a bar for sequels.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
It is a really
Yeah.
interesting because what's the movie that changes the entire industry for franchise making? Right?
Yeah.
It changes where like now everyone looks at all the others and goes, "Well, the sequel's better."
Well, in market-wise, like, you didn't...
What did it make?
And
What's its
shouldn't it
total-
Like,
be
you
better?
didn't have, like, the merch... like, Terminator 2
Here, I'll take
had insane merch that Terminator 1 never had.
Yes.
Like, there wasn't Terminator 1 lunchboxes.
No, there
oh
wasn't.
God! On one
right?
of these
So-
lamppost guys was a
That's a good
Terminator.
point.
His-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I had
right.
the fire cap or the cap.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
You feed him in the back, and then his minigun.
I had the, what is it, the liquid, the T1000 where you press a button and it's like the blade comes out of the hand.
Okay,
thing,
so
like-
worldwide
That's
box
sweet.
office is 515 million.
Wow.
Now that's
Jesus.
huge
For 91.
Well, yeah, that's
Inflate that to
yeah,
now, that's gotta be a
worldwide
billion
box
dollar
office.
Oh,
movie.
yeah, it's easily $1 billion movie.
Well,
right
that
there.
could be combined. It doesn't say. So opening weekend, it made 31 million, 15.6% of its total gross.
Which is
Jesus.
insane for that time.
And what was the budget?
The budget
50?
was 100 mil.
$100 million.
Holy
Production budget
shit.
was 100 million. Yeah,
But then this
worldwide
also,
box office is 5.2 times the production budget.
This movie also made attractions. Like, they made a Terminator attraction, then they made a 3D Terminator
No, you're right. I
attraction.
did
Like,
that at Disney.
Yeah, this
when
movie,
I was a kid.
This movie was like, this is what made them realize, oh my God, franchises can be like or even a single movie can be like
You know what it
so
is
much
too?
capitalized.
It's interesting because it's number 22 on domestic box office for R-rated movies, which is funny what it's up against because it's up against
Yeah.
The
now
R-rated
the
movie.
R-rated movie record
right,
holder.
right,
Yeah.
which is so funny.
And being R-rated for such a big take, like 31 million opening weekend for an R-rated movie.
Yeah.
They made it
You
now.
eliminate all your kids.
Then, like
this is
then.
PG-13 if they made it now.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
totally.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Our
Even with-
requirements for the rating system have changed.
Even with the
drastically.
man ass.
Oh, yeah. Your
Oh,
boot,
yeah.
your clothes, and your motorcycle.
That was pretty
now.
good.
Oh, man.
That was really good.
I love Arnold's. That's the one impression I have tried
Like you
to
nailed that.
master
It
is
wasn't too
Arnold.
much at all.
I
Like, it
love-
wasn't too much Arnold.
I watch it too
You
much.
mean it more like, give me your claws, your boots, and your
Yeah,
motorcycle.
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
right.
That's hard.
I'm old.
That's
woman.
hard, Arnold.
Arnold, you know, it's Will Sasso and it's Arnold because Will Sasso I think does one of the best Arnold
Yeah.
Okay, so
impersonations I've ever
its
seen.
biggest rank is number 21 on Independence Day, all movies 3-day inflation adjusted. So it's one of the biggest money makers for Independence Day opening weekend.
But like, what? Give me
Wow.
a bad thing about this movie. Like,
I
I
know.
don't think it has.
I don't think there's a bad thing about the movie.
No,
I think the
There's no point where I'm bored. There's no point where I'm uninterested.
no. I think it's
playing with time in the way they do, where changing the future doesn't change
But
necessarily
enough that
change
it
the
made
past.
sense for all
yeah,
of us.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Where we could just watch the movie and enjoy it without thinking of like, oh, this doesn't make any sense.
Linda
time
Hamilton's
travel-wise.
pipes.
Well, and it basically
Holy shit!
shredded.
again. I didn't even know there was
Totally
a,
different character.
Totally.
I didn't even know there was a first one, so I felt the second one really summed up where we're at so far in the Terminator storyline, right?
That's true.
Like
That's true.
I thought, like again, it was just
This is always my Linda Hamilton. What you're telling me? There's a scared version of this woman
And
who
even-
has no idea that
That's
she's
right.
giving birth to the savior.
and taking the concept of like in the first one, Arnold's just a straight up killing machine,
Yeah.
and then in the second one, you're crying because he's losing his friend who's a fucking kill. Yeah, man, so
He
good.
taught a robot
so
love.
good. Yeah, he did.
Incredible.
Now I know why you cry.
This deserved to set that high bar for sequels. It did. This absolutely deserved to set a high bar for sequels, and
Yeah.
all sequels should be held to this standard.
Yeah,
because
this is-
why shouldn't the second movie be better than the first? You know all the things you did right, now do it better.
And I
Let's
mean-
okay, we're gonna end on
yeah.
that because we've got to
Yeah.
talk about Deadpool.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Now I
Yeah.
didn't print Deadpool because I thought Martin would be here, fucker. So let me just bring up the numbers on my phone.
Let's just talk about
Let's
how it
quickly
happened.
say too is just the fact that Deadpool and Wolverine is now the record holder, I believe,
Yeah.
Yeah.
for highest grossing.
But let's talk about how none of this happens
crazy.
without that leak.
Yeah, and that Reynolds is a big part. Like, how great is it when your star, your main star power is like let's leak this.
We
I'll
got
do it.
to.
Okay,
I'll do
so
it.
Yeah.
remind me
And he
which,
was right.
which one that he leaked?
He leaked the
leaked the
original
test
footage. You know when he's sitting on the overpass and he
Yeah.
falls into the car with all the
Yes.
mafia
So-
guys and he kills them.
Yes.
That was the test footage that he leaked.
They did a screen test with him because Fox was not 100% on board yet.
No.
So he got together with, I believe, Tim Miller, who ended up being the director of the movie. They did a test footage thing with it. And then Comic-Con that year, they leaked it at Comic-Con,
Yep.
which was genius.
Because now you got to make it.
That's right.
Guys, I would just like to say that he stands by that he may have had an assist in that, and he's not completely responsible.
Oh, no.
So I don't want to get sued by Blake.
He 100%.
She seems.
I know he does. I know he
100%
does.
knows he did that.
I'm just
for
saying
sure.
what he says.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
But I know what
he-
you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, I mean,
and again, at Comic-Con,
Genius.
genius. That's the whole point of Comic-Con.
Yep.
you
Yeah.
can't go back from a leak like that.
No.
So you
No.
do not have Deadpool Wolverine without the leak. Is what
No.
you're saying.
Without any of
And
it,
nobody
yeah.
was leaking back in '91. No one leaks a James Cameron film. They'll be
But
killed.
isn't that
Right.
incredible with a movie like Terminator 2, an R-rated movie where they have complete trust in what they're doing? They
Yeah.
they couldn't imagine making an R-rated movie where
Right.
they can have complete trust and make a lot of money doing
That's
it
right.
again. Like, what are
That's
you
right.
talking about?
Yeah, no, that does.
So-
that doesn't make any sense.
Ryan Reynolds, funny enough, we just saw the Hot Ones episode, and he
So
talked about a
brilliant.
good leak and a bad leak. And a good leak was Deadpool. A bad leak was, remember,
Kidney
X-Men
stones.
Origins.
Oh,
A week before that movie came out, the whole thing was leaked pre-CGI.
right.
I have that copy.
Yeah, it was them on wires still and everything.
But they had no writers.
And he was like, right. But he was saying that was an example of a bad leak because
Yeah.
that movie ended up being shit.
boy, did
And
it.
at least 10 million people saw it fully
Yep.
without CGI. And
The
right
video
before,
game was great.
Video game was one of the best video game movie
Adaptations
video
ever.
games ever. Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
for the sake of comparison, we
wild.
have a $31 million opening weekend with Terminator, and we have a $211 million opening weekend
That's
for Deadpool.
insane.
And that was what, 2016?
But
That's-
let's
no,
talk.
So no,
'cause you
this
gotta
is
include
Deadpool
inflation.
Wolverine that he picked.
Oh,
Sorry,
he picked
I just
Deadpool
put
Wolverine.
Deadpool in the.
Oh,
yeah.
he picked Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're now in 2024. And
Even if you adjust for inflation, you're not even.
I think if we adjust for
True.
inflation, Terminator 2 might be $1 billion movie.
I think overall
Because it
was.
pulled in 500 something, right?
Yes.
In 1991.
Okay, all right.
Oh, and putting in inflation, I'd say it's a bill for sure.
But opening weekend comparison, though, for the take, right?
Right.
Even if you don't adjust,
Yeah, no, that's fair.
it's a
Yep.
huge difference.
yeah.
And I mean, that's Ryan Reynolds, that's Hugh Jackman.
That's also an MCU. Like, there's this huge thing, whereas Terminator's
that's
just
it.
Arnold and
They built this movie to
robot.
be a summer blockbuster, where
Yeah.
Terminator 2 was an
Set it.
accidental blockbuster.
yeah,
And the
yeah,
MCU
yeah.
has
That's-
this built-in fan base now of people who don't even really care about Marvel too much, but they go and see these movies because
Exactly.
they're
Yeah.
entertaining.
Yeah.
Whereas again, I have to say, Terminator. The big thing is Arnold,
Yeah.
right? Like people,
That's your
even
star.
James Cameron, but like Arnold was really like people are.
So
and I
here's-
get it.
We'll
here's
go
what-
see Arnie.
So here's
Yeah.
what's
the new Arnie
actually
movie.
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
interesting is that their production budget is including all marketing, which is $200 million to do this movie. I bet you the movie was probably 70 to 100. The other 100 is to get it out to the world.
with
And boy,
with
did
With
they.
Deadpool, Wolverine.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I wonder if that's a factor at all with Terminator's budget.
Well,
if they
we didn't have the world back then to do what we have with the world now. Can you imagine marketing Terminator back then? You had TV commercials. You
Yeah,
had you had
McDonald's like
Radio
team
ads.
ups,
right?
Yeah.
Radio. Like now you've
Toys
got
R Us ads.
you've got
like,
people showing up as influencers and showing up on these
Right.
like
Much easier.
Hot Ones marketing.
Yeah,
that's
that's true.
brilliant.
That's very
Imagine
true.
Arnie on
cheat at
Hot
Wordle.
Ones.
But Arnold probably his press tour for Terminator. He probably went to Tokyo, everywhere. To
Those were the
fucking
big
pump
junkets.
the
Yeah,
shit
like
out
you
of
had
this
to
movie.
travel. Where
Oh, and
this,
Planet Hollywood, if that was around at a time.
And he's just
right?
an
Like,
icon. Like when you
Yeah.
see Arnold in the jacket and the sunglasses,
Yeah.
that's the Terminator.
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody knows.
yeah.
I mean, we've all seen Deadpool. We all know how great
But
it
let's
is.
be honest, he was a B-tier hero in the comics, and they
You
found a
wouldn't
cool one
have-
that Ryan Reynolds wanted to do.
You wouldn't have Deadpool without Terminator.
Thank you. That's what I'm getting at.
I have. I mean, as much as okay. I'm Terminator 2.
I have to be like. Don't get me wrong.
I think that's just the
Deadpool and Wolverine
Has
changed
totally
my nerd
set a
life in a
new-
lot of ways.
Yep.
Yes, but Terminator 2 is my childhood. It's everything, man.
That's the
like-
blockbuster.
Yeah, to me, I think that's what ultimately made everyone be like, "Hey, our sequel's got to be bigger.
Yep.
It's got to have more budget." Because
More
Terminator 2
blood.
did that. Like, it really did.
If there was anything after the fact, I mean, in your world of like shockers or like unexpected, I mean, the next round really has a huge unexpected movie, and then one that was released literally at the start of summer. So round
Yeah.
2 is seed 5 versus 4. We've got another Martin submission, and we've got my take. We've got New Hope, Star Wars: A New Hope versus Independence Day.
I mean,
Because Independence Day, man, like that it's the same star factor. It's Will Smith.
yeah, he was
right?
on Prime. He was still on Fresh Prince.
That
he was
was
still
it.
rocking it. He was in his prime. This was what, right before or right after Men in Black? It's, I think right before Men in Black.
Like this movie's on cable
So-
every day at 3 p.m.
yeah, yeah, it's so true.
Commercials for
It's so
Independence
true.
Day
Always
playing
on.
in between.
Bill
Fresh
Pullman's
Prince.
speech, I always find it somehow.
Oh.
It's right after a commercial break. Like,
But my God, the cultural.
just the idea of teaming up Jeff Goldblum and Will Smith at that
Genius.
time was pretty funny.
Okay, so opening weekend comparisons.
Okay.
We've got a release date on New Hope, which I don't want to get this wrong.
76.
I mean, you wouldn't have Independence Day without Star Wars.
Same aliens.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
1977.
Oh, I was close.
You're very close.
So
Open-
97, 77? Was Independence Day 97?
96.
Oh,
Okay,
that's kind of
so-
cool.
So almost 20 years apart.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Opening weekend for Star Wars, $1 million.
In 77.
1 million.
What's that for
1,554,000.
And in 77,
That's
With inflation,
nuts.
adjusted
That's
inflation,
fucked.
domestic
How much were
box
people
office?
paying for movie tickets? $2?
Yeah, right.
Right?
Like
I
that's
mean,
insane.
Fucked.
Independence Day, 50 million. 20-year difference. That was probably $5.50 a movie, maybe $3 a movie.
But Mark
for-
Hamill wasn't the star of Fresh Prince.
No.
when Star Wars came
Okay,
out.
you've got Carrie
Oh,
Fisher.
man.
You got Carrie Fisher, who's Hollywood royalty, right? Considering who her parents
But
are.
again, nobody really
Nobody
cared
knew Mark
yet.
Hamill.
Nobody cared about
George
any of those
Lucas
people
had just
yet.
made a fucking weird sci-fi movie.
And 20th Century Fox hated George Lucas after Star Wars because of how much money he was.
by all means, New Hope is a summer blockbuster in regards to its
I think it's the OG summer
surprise.
blockbuster.
No, well, the OG is
Because
Jaws.
nobody knew it was going to be, right?
Yeah, like Jaws is the one that.
Oh yeah, but I mean like sci-fi. I
Oh,
guess,
sci-fi, sure,
Star,
yeah. I
Like,
mean,
like
yeah.
blockbuster, I would say was Star Wars.
Yeah, because 2001: A Space Odyssey isn't pulling that.
No.
Right.
No,
And-
no.
and
that
what-
was like an icon kind of movie, but not a blockbuster.
Yeah.
kind of
What else
movie.
do you have that's really interesting? Because the camera technique in New Hope, using the moving camera to give
Yeah.
you the idea of being in a
The models and
X-wing, the
everything.
models, the
Yeah.
paintings, like
Yeah.
so much went into that to make it pop. And I mean, yeah, it's only $1 million, but it's more of a fluke than the marketing that goes into Independence Day to get your ass in the seats.
Do you think it helps New Hope that they weren't expected to be a blockbuster
Yes.
and then became one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because there was already pressure for Independence Day to be because it got
Do you want
Will
to know?
Smith.
Do you want to
We
know
have all
production
this-
budget?
And then maybe
star
looking at it
power.
that way, it kind of underachieves.
Do you want to know production
Yeah.
budget comparisons, guys?
Yeah,
$11,000 Star Wars.
$11,000.
Oh, sorry, my mistake.
That can't be right.
I'm wrong. 11 million.
Yeah.
11 million for Star Wars.
Okay, but even
$1,000.
yeah,
Kevin Smith made it.
but even
I was
still,
holding them like this. I was missing.
But
six-
even
three
$11
zeros.
million for a huge sci-fi, like that's
a
hilarious.
risk.
And they
That's-
pulled
that's a-
almost. They
in the
almost pulled
70s?
10%
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
just on opening weekend.
Just on opening
Which-
weekend. Yeah,
I think
Okay.
they made that back now.
Then you've got total
Toys
7 million.
alone?
Total is 7 million domestic video sales and 775 million theatrical performance.
yeah, I think they. I think
Holy
they made
fuck
it back.
me.
So they're at
Fuck, that's
782 million.
that's funny.
Right.
But like, who really talks about Independence Day
That's
anymore?
not that. No, I mean
And the sequel ruined it, whereas
Yeah.
the
Empire
sequel.
elevated Star Wars.
Star Wars only got better, and we're not
Yes.
really here to talk about.
Yeah.
And then opening weekend for Independence Day was 50 million on a 75 million dollar budget.
Also, Jimmy, like
Okay, that's pretty good, making 3/4 of it back.
that is.
I saw
and that's Will
Independence
Smith.
Day because
Yeah.
of Will Smith.
So did I.
Because we were in Fresh Prince.
When he
like,
punches
mode.
that alien right in
yeah,
the middle
you
of the trailer,
ugly mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you go to the theater because you know this guy.
He was also playing Fresh Prince. He was this hot shot pilot and like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
woo, aliens, woo.
With
Like,
Harry
you know what I
Connick
mean? Yeah.
Jr.
Right. Yeah.
Uncle
oh,
Phil.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Uncle Phil ejects Jeff from the seat.
Do you mean the voice of Shredder?
yeah.
Oh my God. But yeah, like, yeah, I can't. I'm already New Hope. I'm sorry. It's a New
Really?
Hope for me.
Yeah.
I
no,
think
you're
New
right.
Hope is the surprise where Independence Day just feels like
It
okay,
had this
now
expectation it had to reach.
it did. And at that point we're now using summer blockbuster as a term where New Hope comes
There was
around.
almost no such thing.
There
Well,
was
A
right?
New Hope was almost, again, with Jaws, and A New Hope solidified the whole thing of every studio needed a big summer movie.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
So
That's got to be New Hope.
A New
then.
Hope was like why Terminator got released when it did, because that was got to be
Exactly.
their summer
Also,
big movie.
also 90s, right?
Right?
Like
Yeah.
by then
Yeah.
you've coined the term. By then the
Yes.
phrase is industry standard. It's changing when you use these words.
Yes.
You're
they're
calling
pow-
it that in your trailer.
Exactly,
That's
right?
Yeah.
You're selling
And
it to the star that it's going to be a big blockbuster.
Filmmakers are making, because again, movies didn't have a release date first. They waited until they were about halfway done.
Yeah.
But Cameron knew that when he was making Terminator, it had to be for a summer release. Like,
Yeah.
this has got to be done for summer.
That's when calendars, I think,
Right.
started to become part of the studio system as
Yeah.
opposed to time to finish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we
and,
finished it now. I guess we go for. I guess we
That's
go for
right.
Christmas because we finished in fall.
and huge nerds, like movie nerds like
Yeah.
us, we knew the calendar because we're like, well, that movie's coming out then, so
That's
I know it's
summer.
December. I know this is coming out in summer because of the Blockbuster, so I know. That's how I made my calendar. Was
yeah,
like,
no,
oh yeah,
yeah.
So
Yeah.
then it's New Hope.
You should see what's in my calendar. I have all
I
the
say-
awards season stuff in my calendar.
I
I've got
say A
it's-
New Hope because they didn't need to say go see this on Independence Day.
Did you guys
to
see
make them see their
Dan and
movie.
Eugene Levy are hosting the Emmys?
Yes.
I did. It's phenomenal.
Excellent choice.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Amazing choice. They should do the Oscars too.
They really should do
Why
the
not?
Oscars.
Why
too.
not?
Yeah,
All right, gentlemen, we are on to round 3, which is seed 3 versus seed 6. This is something I never thought we'd have a conversation about, but Rocky 2 versus Shrek.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Shrek kicks the shit out of Rocky too.
All right, what do you got on your paperwork for Shrek there?
I don't know. Mine says rematch of the century, right on the poster there, Jimmy. Oh, look
This
at
is,
this!
like-
Tickets on sale at box office. Love it. Sorry.
So the
Great.
production budget for Shrek, $50 million.
I mean, that's an expensive.
Opening weekend, $42,347,000.
Wow.
They basically made their whole budget back within a week.
That's insane.
That's completely insane. And
For a guy's dream who then gets up in the middle of the night and writes the rest of the movie out and now becomes and it's getting a fucking 5th one.
and it says with inflation adjusted inflation is $510 million it's made total.
What's its DVD sales? Because that was still when DVD was a big thing.
DVD sales.
Oh,
It'd
and
be at the-
VHS.
It'd be at the top of the page. I
And
think.
VHS.
Or on
They were still making VHS sales at that time too.
No,
I'm pretty
just
sure.
box office.
just box office for that one.
But
Okay.
it made just as much domestically as it did internationally, which to me is completely insane.
That is insane.
Because it's
Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy.
not that I travel overseas often, but when you go overseas often, it's not like you're seeing Shrek merch all over the place. But apparently they loved it just as much as we did.
Well, and that's early millennium, right? What's the release date on that?
2004.
2004. So that's
yeah.
where
2001.
I
Sorry,
mean, what's the
2001.
culture of the world
Yep.
at the time where you're trying to get China to watch your movies, right? Because I mean, that might be the start of where domestic.
So technically, this came out May 18th.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's May 1st
That
to
makes sense.
September. May 1st to September 1st is your calendar blockbuster.
Because Fast and the Furious was June, and that's when they said I couldn't see it.
it is beloved. Shrek, quotable as
They
all-
have fucking Shrek techno shows that came to the pyramid. It went across
Shrek.
No, but did you see the pyramid hosted it? It was
Yeah.
and they had it across.
You're not doing that for
Canada.
Rocky 2.
What
They're
is
doing
that?
it for Rocky Balboa.
Is it SEDM? Shrek No Electronic Dance Music?
Nice.
I know,
I'm sorry, I can't quote Rocky 2, but I can quote.
Hey, they don't have a Shrek statue,
Oh
but they
my
have a
God.
Rocky statue.
They do.
This thing.
And he's not even a real person.
Oh, so you know
They
what
built
that
a
weekend
statue
is?
for him.
That's Memorial Day long weekend.
There it is.
It pulled in $110 million that weekend.
That's insane. That's
My God.
insane.
And
Where's
just
the
the cultural
budget?
impact of
Where's the
this.
budget? Let's see your paperwork. 'Cause some of them, not all of them are the same.
Because I'll be honest with you guys, I don't
Stallone
really.
paid for it all.
When did Rocky
Oh,
2
it didn't
come out?
shoot out.
79, I think.
This one doesn't have a budget on it.
Because I get that everybody.
I'll find it.
I think this one says
Listen,
release
I get
79?
Rocky. I get it.
June 15th, 1979.
Because was Rocky 2 supposed to be a blockbuster? Like, are these
Rocky
supposed to
1
be
was an
blockbuster
Oscar
movies?
winner.
Rocky 1 Rocky 1 was
Rocky-
a surprise hit, and then because it won the Oscar, specifically with Stallone writing it,
Right.
And
I
then
think there
demanded,
was a lot of hype on the
He
second
wrote it, sold it for $30,000 with like $2 in his pocket, then demanded that he star in it. They went back and forth for months. Finally,
Yeah,
they're like, okay,
right.
you can have it. And then the big story is the night before the big fight where he's having the monologue with Adrian in bed. He's like, I need this in the movie. If it's not in the movie, it doesn't make sense. They gave him one take. He nails it. That changes everything.
Yeah. And then, like Jimmy, like the hype for the second one was a
Yeah,
lot more.
there's no information on it. They
Weird.
do not give you a budget.
It's because of Stallone. He paid for everything, I
Yeah.
guarantee it.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't doubt it. And then I don't know, because you can only go off of what he
Yeah.
says.
$7 million USD for the budget
They're saying for Rocky 2?
for Rocky 2.
Which makes sense, because I'd say it was more about paying the actors,
Yeah.
right? And getting the fight choreography. It's not like a big budget sci-fi, practical effects kind of thing.
And
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not
it
like-
is.
It's going to make that money back.
Well, it's the
Yeah,
rematch.
opening
right?
weekend and made 6.3
R.I.P. Carl
million.
Weathers.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And we saw him at Comic-Con, which was
Did.
crazy.
You can get yourself a stew going.
I asked him to make us a stew.
I think I
just-
want my money back.
I don't feel. I mean, as much as it's on the list and its timeline of release and everything, I don't feel sitting in the theater in the summer wanting some free air conditioning,
Wanting to watch a boxing
wanting to watch a boxing movie. I mean, I love Rocky.
How dare you?
But I don't. I don't
I'm kind
feel
of in the same. We've got him right there.
I know I do.
It started the
This is Rocky
original.
5, though.
Yeah.
It started the original man versus man fight that we all love to see opening weekend.
Don't get me wrong. I love that story. Just not that weekend.
I think why Shrek did well is that it just appealed to everybody. Like, parents can take their kids and they're going to have just as good
Also,
of a time.
Mike Myers was also really hot. Like Austin Powers was doing really well.
Like, you're going to take your 4 or
And-
5-year-old to go see Rocky 2.
Why not? Teach them about real life.
This is what you
Life's
do
a
to solve
dirty
your
game.
problems.
You got to fight dirty to win it, kid.
No, that's Rocky 4 where he teaches. No, Rocky 5 where he teaches his kid to fight.
Yeah. And he does a street fight. It's not even a boxing fight.
Tommy, we used to be like
He
this,
fights
Tommy.
like a UFC fighter on
Yeah,
a truck.
yeah. He's rolling
on
him
the
around
street.
on the ground,
Yeah.
doing arm hooks
yeah.
on him.
4's my favorite, if I can just say
Oh,
with
Rocky
Rocky.
4 is the most American
It is
movie
my
ever made.
absolute favorite one.
He gets Russia to cheer for him.
On Christmas
I know.
Day.
Incredible.
Shrek has all the family staying power. It's got the universal love. It's got the big
The
cast.
cast.
Like
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy doing voice work.
This is a
Nothing before
blockbuster.
that I think of. And now, like, everyone, you think of Donkey.
He did all the voice work for Norbit, I'm pretty sure.
That's not the same.
all the ADR. He did all the ADR for Norbit.
Thank you for
It
that
just has all of this.
lovely bit of
No,
knowledge.
And they have the public domain fairy tales in it too, are just so wonderful. Like having Pinocchio and
Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean, when
That's
he when
true.
he when
He
Princess-
huffed and he puffed and he gave us this eviction notice. That's one of my
he was
favorite
like,
parts.
that's the
of
most
Shrek Live.
hideous thing I've ever seen. That's not very nice. It's just a donkey.
Yeah.
and to the point,
Layers. We have layers.
We're like onions.
Yeah.
and we can't really use the sequels as evidence, but like just the impact and how well those ones did. Also, the sequels introducing Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots now having
As a
4
franchise.
of their own movies.
Well, no,
And
this-
as Michael said, they're
this is
doing a
fair,
fifth.
though.
They're bringing they're bringing
this is
them
fair
all back.
both of these are franchises.
right?
Oh, and John Lithgow killing it in the first.
Oh
Lord,
my God.
Lord Farquaad
Nailed
Yeah.
it
I
Remember when I
also-
called him fuckwad?
because he is. Well, he's supposed to be based
Lord
on
Fuckwad.
Michael Eisner.
Yeah, I think that's what they said.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Also, I can clearly I can quote Shrek. I don't really know many quotes from specifically
quote
Rocky
Rocky
2,
II.
other than Adrian. But I think that's the end of the first.
I think that's
one,
the
right?
first one.
I know that, and I
Yeah.
know I didn't hear no Bill from Mickey.
Right.
Right?
You're a bum.
You're a bum.
You're a bum, Rock.
You're all a bum.
Yeah.
I mean, my Rocky is Rocky 1, but then I go to Rocky 3. I
think
do
it's
glaze
gotta-
over 2 a lot.
Oh, you do
3,
like
4,
3, eh?
3, 4, and 5. I'm a fucking champion.
Yeah,
just-
4's my all-time
I'll
favorite.
I know I have Canadian friends that live in Winnipeg that have collections of Shrek merch.
Yeah,
Piles of it. I don't know anyone that has Rocky merch.
Michael
Michael specifically.
and 5.
Michael doesn't count.
No, I mean even I have to like I picked Rocky 2, but even I have to go Shrek because
It's
yeah.
just gotta.
But hey, they also I don't see Shrek bringing back a Rocky when he's like 1,000 years old to do it one more time.
They still talk about doing new Shrek movies
Yeah,
all
but you
the
know
time.
what?
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy
they're
didn't-
doing it.
Eddie Murphy
Yeah.
isn't making Shrek and not including Mike Myers. Unlike Creed, where Michael B. Jordan's like, Rocky, you can step aside.
That's a very good point.
These are
Sylvester
my
Stallone,
movies.
these are
They
my
even
movies.
like meant to kill him off and then didn't, and then he's just not in any more of the movies.
I
which
do
is
like
weird.
the Creed movies though.
The Creed movies have been great, and you wouldn't have them without Rocky 2.
That's
you
right.
wouldn't. Yeah.
Legally, yeah.
I think what I will say is I think what made people really interested in Rocky 2 as well is Rocky 1 ended in a way nobody expected.
right.
You always expect the hero to win. The hero did not, but he won
But he
the
goes
crowd.
the distance.
He won
Yeah.
everybody. That was the big thing.
It
and
is,
in
yeah.
2, it is a really funny knockout. If people haven't seen 2, they knock each other out.
It is. It's
They
the
do
photo.
a double.
Yeah,
Yes,
they do the double.
The double punch. They both punch each other out,
Because
but
in
Rocky
the-
gets up.
In the end of 3.
That's how he wins.
Yeah.
In the end of 3, when they're
Club-a-lang.
like, right? But after 3, they're like,
Yeah.
we should do this again.
That's right.
and they
That's
walk,
right.
they mosey, and it's like the end credits scene.
That's right.
And
That's
then
right.
they pause on that shot.
Yes,
And then that
yes.
shot's painted and in his big mansion.
Yeah,
in
that's
4.
right. Oh my God, that's right. And 4, he gets the robot that the grandpa wants to fuck.
the
That
robot-
implies, but that implies that somebody was in the room with them while they were having that fight and took a picture and then
It
painted
does.
that picture.
It does make
That doesn't make any sense.
Stallone had somebody painting them while they were fighting.
well,
that doesn't make any
that,
fucking sense.
that robot in 4
Yeah.
was brought on the set for his
Sexual pleasure.
No, for
The
his
kid.
for his child.
Yeah, his kids were on
that's
set.
awful.
Yeah, but the child I think has
And the
autism.
kids fucked it. No, I'm kidding.
Huh.
I'm kidding.
I thought I was
just
horny.
thought the uncle. I really thought he was in
Yeah.
love with the robot.
But they
Yeah.
brought it on set just to keep someone occupied. But then they're like, put it in the movie.
did. Okay,
Then
so
it was Paulie's gift.
I
Happy
haven't
birthday,
seen
Paulie.
it yet, but Stallone's passion project during COVID was he re-edited because there is a director's version of it. Because he edited the he calls it the Cold War version, which is why it's all about America defeating Russia in Russia. But he
So
came
there's
out
more American.
He came out
Russian
with the director's
propaganda.
it's less because his original cut was like more about defeating Drago, not Russia being
Wonder how
defeated,
Russia
but-
feels about Rocky.
Oh, they hate Rocky 4, I'm sure.
Yeah.
They must, right?
I think there's just 4 Rocky
Everything-
movies and Rocky 4 doesn't exist. So they just skip it.
Everything I know about
Brand it.
everything I know about Russian doping, I know from Rocky 4.
Yeah. Well, I love the close-ups of them injecting in his muscle and then showing 80s graphics of like weird science where it's like
And then he goes and punches the pad.
Yeah, he's punching and like what's his line
shit.
when they go to like hit hands? I will break you.
I must
I
break
I
you.
must break you.
If he does.
I mean,
All right, guys.
if it's fair, you know.
I'm really sorry.
We got to move on, and
Yes,
we're into
we
our
have.
last.
So Rocky 2's dead.
Rocky
This
2's
is
dead.
huge.
This one's massive. So we've got Back to the Future.
That's mean how hard this one
know.
is. That's mean.
It was bound to happen.
Both these, I think Jurassic Park's one of the first movies I remember seeing in theaters.
It sucks that one of these has to be gone in the first round.
So Back to the Future versus Jurassic Park, listener.
My God. Do you want
That's
to go?
tough.
I mean,
Because this really feels like more preference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it could go either way, but it's just what
Robert Zemeckis versus Steven Spielberg. The
Well,
battle.
this is clearly. I would say this is Zemeckis' masterpiece.
Does Zemeckis' parents still love each other?
Well, they're Tom Hanks and Robin Wright, so I think they do.
Did Zemeckis make a weird video about his mom dancing half naked
With Seth
like,
Rogen?
With Seth Rogen. I mean, if that's the case,
Back to the Future fucked him up.
I mean, okay. So let's go with the numbers first here.
You know,
so,
Zemeckis did write in a scene where he tried to have sex
Fuck
with
his mom.
So I don't think either of them are doing very well, particularly.
leave alone my incest comments for later.
And Jurassic Park's all about how they don't have moms so that they can't
Exactly.
procreate.
Yeah,
so-
but
No, they're all moms.
Oh, right, they're all moms, so that's why they have all the babies
But if
to
you
procreate.
okay, if you
Perverts,
think,
these
hang on,
guys.
guys. Hey, all of the dinosaurs are female. They start fucking each other and growing dicks. That's
Life
weird.
finds a way.
It
I know
does.
life finds a way.
It does.
Life finds a way.
But nobody found each other's. No, I don't have a joke. 11 million opening weekend on a $19 million budget.
That's it. Pathetic.
For Back to the Future?
Yeah, for Back to the Future.
And that's what,
Pathetic.
83?
85.
85. So domestic box 215, international 173 for a 388 million total take.
Well, if we're going off money,
And this is the
what?
first.
Yeah, no, we'll start with there because
This is the first big time travel movie in a long time, I would say.
I mean, it's one of the first real like time travel is the primary plot.
Right. And then set the bar for all these other time travel storylines.
I mean, everything I know about time travel,
Yeah,
I know
kinda
from Back
did.
to the Future.
Right.
there is no Terminator without Back to the Future.
That is true. I think Back to the Future was before Terminator 1.
I mean, it's
I think
got
Terminator 1 was 86.
It's-
So
it's
that makes sense.
only real big, like really good claim.
Only real big fish.
is biggest domestic 26th weekend at number 7. It's still made 100 million.
So it was still making it.
1,400,000 26 weeks later after its opening.
Also, one
That's
of the
pretty nuts.
few movies on our list that actually
80,
made
like-
cars. I'm sure the DeLorean went up in demand, and the DeLorean became a
That's
very
if anything, it
popular
helped the
vehicle.
DeLorean.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's cultural effect. I'm gonna just throw Rick and Morty at you guys to get
Yeah.
you on my side here.
But
I
no,
mean,
it's that's fair.
you know, Universal Studios had a ride for eons. It's one of those first movies that, like, aside from toys and figurines, really just kind of sat inside the cultural ether and hasn't moved and is safeguarded as do not touch.
Also has one of my favorite pinball machines ever.
Let me counter.
yeah.
Let me counter that with the production budget being $63 million and the worldwide box office being over $1 billion.
Okay, what's its
For
opening
Jurassic
weekend
Park?
take though?
$50 million.
So 60 million budget on and 50 million.
It basically
opening
made
weekend.
its money back within the week.
We're
But
both
this is
10
the guy
million
who did
off on it,
Jaws, and then Close Encounters, E.T. So he has a lot working in his
And
favor in
E.T.
terms
and
of
Jaws and Close Encounters, I believe, are all summer
Well,
releases.
you guys
yeah.
ever watch the trailers for Jurassic Park?
They're
Yes.
insane.
Like, my God, imagine how excited.
yeah.
Like, holy shit, everybody would be excited to see that. They got real fucking dinosaurs for this? Holy shit.
Yeah, like they brought them back.
And I mean, as much as there's been like there's countless documentaries about Back to the Future and how they had struggles to make it. It's on all those
Eric
how the movies-
Stoltz.
Eric Stoltz.
Yeah.
How the movies got made, right? All those
Yep.
shows love to talk about it. They do the same thing with Jurassic Park, where we had practical effects with Phil Tippett forever, and then that other dude just comes walking in
yeah.
one day.
Ruined Phil Tippett's
Ruined
life.
Phil Tippett's life. There's a documentary on
Yeah.
Tubi about that guy.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
how he changed VFX for good or bad. how
Phil
you look
Tippett
at-
just air punching.
Oh, he doesn't talk about it anymore. No one. He does not answer that
He's
question.
just shadow box.
He's like he's building his little dinosaur miniatures. Like, can you imagine if we got that again? Can you imagine if Jurassic Park would have been like?
Well,
we might get that in
who
Beetlejuice
knows?
too.
Who knows?
But that's
I'll say
fun.
Yeah.
And that's
ScarJo's Jurassic Park might do this. Who knows?
like when you see
Is
it,
she playing the dinosaurs?
She is. She's
Wow.
voicing them all.
Wow.
they're
She
doing
said
an
she
anim-
could do anything. She said she could be a tree.
Yeah.
She could be anything.
You've got
This
this
fucking idiot.
awesome time travel story versus something that we all want to play with when we're kids.
Versus bringing time back to us
It's
with dinosaurs.
I mean,
That's interesting.
how do you?
That's actually pretty interesting how we line those two up together.
Is it a better movie? Is that how you decide it? Like,
Because what do we do here?
Oh.
you're
Because
This
like you
is
can't
so
fault Back to the
difficult.
Future for not continuing after 3. Like that's definitely in their favor. But the fact that the Jurassic World movies have been pretty dang successful, whether they're
Yeah,
good movies
they've
or
dominated the
Yeah,
world.
like
Exactly.
they again set a bar for box office
not. But
again.
you can't
I
fault
mean,
Back to the Future for not doing that.
Because that
Well, and the
that's
It keeps it
85.
special.
Well,
Right,
and the
yeah.
fact, and that's what's nuts is that Back to the Future still sells merch based on something from the 80s versus something that's
That's a pretty good point.
regurgitated.
People are going to buy a
90s,
DeLorean before they're going to buy a
2000s.
dinosaur toy.
No, they're not.
I would. I have a DeLorean.
Kids are
like I
buying
said.
dinosaurs before they're buying cars, I think.
Well, this is the thing. All kids, I would say, majority of kids go through a dinosaur phase. I think it's
Absolutely.
pretty fair.
It's
it's
true.
impossible
say.
not to.
Everybody wants to fuck their mom though at some point.
No, they don't.
God.
Mike's looking a lot
What?
like
you
Sigmund
guys
Freud.
are, Oedipus complex. None of you. No.
You went to the Sigmund Freud school of
I went to
debating.
Greece for school. Is where I
Oh,
went.
dear God.
It's tough. You've got one of the best stories versus one of the coolest movies. Like, I don't give I don't give Back to the Future a lot of credit for its VFX but the sci-fi aspect of it, like the car building, the plutonium,
The
going back in
plutonium.
time,
Yeah.
the like being
What is it?
able
The Iranians with the plutonium?
Iranians with the
random,
plutonium?
His
that
dad's
random
a
storyline?
pervert.
But like
Right.
the what is it? The deep sea under the fish under the deep sea dance. Like
Yeah.
it all has these lovely moments where Jurassic Park is just like we're
Oh,
going to change
Doc,
the
that's
game
heavy.
forever.
It's
So
just
what do you pick?
visually beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
DNA.
I don't like honestly. Either one of these could end up just being the winner today too.
Fuck.
I
It
think
sucks that one of these has to lose. Is really. I know you said that, but like it really is.
This goes against every fiber in my body, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to go Jurassic Park.
I was gonna say the same thing.
I have to. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
most other fights, Back to the Future wins, but I think Jurassic.
Just universally,
Yes.
globally, it's gotta be.
Because so like Back to the Future again, I think is a generational
John Hammond versus
thing.
Christopher Lloyd. I mean, what do you do?
It's growing up, but I think as I get older, I'll always be fascinated by dinosaurs. So I think
Yeah.
fucking Jurassic Park.
The more we know.
Although I have a Lego DeLorean that I love to pee. It's so hard.
Too late.
It's so hard.
So what do we got now?
All right. We're on to. We got 2 more rounds here.
Come on.
So now we've pinned Terminator 2 Seed 1 versus Seed 5 A New Hope.
So we're talking about basically Terminator 2 that was expected to be
Yep.
this summer blockbuster and then overachieved by a mile. And then we have to talk about New Hope that was never expected to be this and did it
This is how I
anyways.
will say this right now, easy for me. If it was between Terminator 2 and Empire Strikes Back, I would have a harder time.
Okay.
I would too.
Oh, so
But
you
I
because
would
it's
too,
between A
actually.
New Hope and Terminator 2, I'm going to go Terminator 2.
okay.
I'm going to go Terminator 2 as well. And the reason I say that is New Hope is experimental.
Well, it's funny to call a Star Wars movie the underdog.
Isn't that funny? Isn't that so funny?
But when you look at its numbers too, even if you adjust it, right? Like yes, New Hope has got more, but that's because Disney bought the rights.
But it didn't
I mean,
do
these-
as well as
it
a
did-
summer blockbuster.
Exactly. Where
Okay.
Terminator 2 as a blockbuster killed it. Even if you adjust for inflation,
Yeah.
you still have.
Well,
Instead of voting with integrity, we're adjusting with inflation today.
That's funny.
and again, if it was Empire, because I would say Empire was the first Terminator 2 in the sense of I think it was the first sequel.
We're gonna have a
Where
lot of
you're
Star
like,
Wars fans
holy
shadowboxing.
And
Shit,
Empire's
this was better than
well,
the
they
first
also
one.
released Empire in the summer too because it's
Right.
on the list,
That's
right?
interesting.
That's right. So I feel like like Terminator 2 was the Empire for the Terminator franchise,
That's funny.
right? So that's why I said if it was Empire versus Terminator
did
2,
Empire
I'd have
come
a harder
out?
time.
91.
No,
No,
was
no,
it a summer
80
blockbuster?
I think 83.
Did that come out during the summer? Is what I'm trying to ask.
Yes, it
83
did.
or 85.
Empire came out.
Yeah.
Empire came out in summer. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Well, I mean, I mean, 77 is Jaws, I believe.
Right.
77 Star Wars and Jaws.
So
Because I could only imagine the hype for Empire just being fucking massive.
Oh, it was insane.
Well, do you guys also want to know something?
He also took a while, like
He
77.
put years between.
Yeah, like 77
So the
was Star
hype
Wars
is
1,
just-
and then Star Wars 2 was in the 80s.
It's like
so,
the hype
right?
for Phantom
like,
Menace, but a better
But
movie.
that's only
Right,
that's
right,
only
right.
because of the Christmas special.
Yeah.
They-
Oh,
my
yeah.
God.
if they
that's
didn't
right.
make the Christmas special, I bet you we would have had Empire a lot faster.
So it's got to be Terminator.
It's just
That's a tough one.
It feels
It's Terminator 2 by a furlong.
by a furlong.
Like the legacy that comes from New
by
Hope.
an X-wing.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like the legacy that comes from New Hope. I get it.
Yeah.
But just going movie against
The
movie
powerhouse.
to me,
Yeah.
Terminator 2.
Yeah.
New Hope is good because I know what it does. Like if I didn't grow up where I saw New Hope and then waited those years.
Yeah.
And then
But
saw
maybe-
Empire, this and that. You know what I mean? That might have
But
been
again,
different.
it's not Empire.
That's right. It's New Hope specifically. So yeah.
A lot of Star Wars fans at home shadowboxing.
Oh,
nothing.
shadowboxing hard
There
right
are
now.
yeah.
Oh, the
yeah.
real debater thinks it's better.
Unsubscribe, subscribe, unsubscribe, subscribe.
Fuck you, Michael.
I'm gonna get hate
They better
mail
do.
after
They
this.
better do fucking New
I
Hope
can't
trivia.
go out this
Better
week,
do
guys.
New
This
Hope
is gonna
trivia.
fucking... Okay, so next
next one's
round,
good, too.
semifinal here. We got seed 6 versus seed 2. It's green versus
Green too.
Jurassic Park.
So you've got Shrek.
Get out of my swamp.
Get out of my park.
Get out of my
Okay.
park.
I'm going to say something here, and this is going to shock you.
Throw it
but,
out.
You're going Shrek.
Jurassic Park wasn't finished, and he started Schindler's List doing 2 movies at the same time.
So does that
Is that why all the
help or
dinosaurs-
hinder?
I think that helps because when you find out that and they shot
His
it. They
full
were
attention
they
wasn't
were
there.
they were done primary shooting, principal photography, all done. Most of editing was done. It was just like color and maybe a couple other things.
Is
Nothing
that why all the
big.
dinosaurs die at the end?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they weren't prepared.
What I'm saying is the talent of a filmmaker who can leave one to go make one of the most moving films in the history of cinema after leaving a
Pick
giant,
a lane, buddy.
I
Stick to
agree
one.
with you. I think
You
that
horse
hinders
shit.
this instead. He should have had his full attention on this movie that he
Right.
knew was
What
gonna
I'm
be a
saying,
blockbuster.
though,
Schindler's List
but
needs
what I'm-
dinosaurs.
But what I'm
Yes.
saying is,
Thank
is
you,
that
Charles.
this you didn't know this before. You didn't know this in the first round, and now that you know that now, that Jurassic Park is still amazing. That's my argument: is that he split on 2 movies.
It could have been better.
What do you want? Do you want,
Schindler's Park.
do you want John Hammond running a T-Rex like Khaleesi? Like, what do you fucking
Yeah, I
want?
do.
Schindler's Park.
I'm saying that even though Shrek had complete focus, Jurassic Park is still awesome, and you didn't know that, which is why it's my point.
No, and I can't even use the adults and kids thing. Like,
No,
it's
I
good
mean,
for both.
The T-Rex was way too scary for kids under 14 to
Did
go
you
see
guys
it.
know that Shrek was supposed to be Chris Farley originally?
Yeah, they
Really?
have. Yeah, they have
Yeah.
voice work with them too online. You can
That's
listen
right.
to.
So he was Shrek.
Yeah, they
he was
had.
cast
They
as
had
Shrek.
it
He was
ready
doing
to go.
Yeah, he was doing voice already before he died. So
Oh, we got kitties already.
Oh,
This is the
hi,
first time they've
kitty.
ever come in here while we're recording. Hello, Billy.
You're cute.
That's my argument for Jurassic
Aw.
Park. Plus
Papa,
this,
hello.
she's fine. But the stellar cast. I mean, Sam Neill,
Laura Dern.
Dern.
and Dern.
Goldblum.
Sugar, we're
Goldblum.
going Dern.
What did you have? What's it? Richard Attenborough?
Richard Attenborough.
Attenborough.
Yeah, David's brother.
But you can't take
That's
that away
right.
from Shrek. 'Cause
Newman.
This cast is unreal.
I know the
like,
cast
these
is
were
unreal.
comedy icons during this time.
But you've got this family-friendly movie versus this all-time blockbuster. It's the same power that Terminator 2 has. I
And
feel like it just
Shrek
you put 'em
probably
in the
has a Jurassic Park reference, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like one of them
Maybe with the
does.
dragon.
Maybe in
Maybe
3.
with the dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, a girl dragon. Of course you are.
They have to be female.
Maybe. Maybe when the dragon's first coming, they're shaking. Like there's that, like, you know,
When
like
they're
the
physically
water
coming or
no,
when they
like
arrive?
Oh,
like the
maybe.
water
Are you
shake
just
when the
put-
T-Rex
Are
is
you just
coming.
trying to Mandela
I'm trying to
effect
incept now.
or-
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys remember the whole scene where he's like, "This is my park," and they like go and there's dinosaurs.
Look,
He does
a
say
T-Rex.
that.
It's a velociraptor.
Can I say Shrek? Listen,
This
All
is
Star
your-
went
these are your
platinum
two, by
before
the way,
Shrek.
which is
I know.
funny.
All Star went platinum before Shrek, but my God, this just got them. This got Smash Mouth going.
Hey now,
You're an
All-Star.
all-star.
Okay.
Just think about that.
You think you're getting your game on? Okay.
But what about Jurassic Park's theme song? Nothing beats that either.
Na, na, na,
I thought
na,
love was
na,
only
na,
true
na,
in
na,
fairy
na.
tales.
Na,
Smash
na,
Mouth, Smash Mouth.
na, na,
Weird Al had an
na,
amazing
na.
Jurassic Park song
He
because
did.
of it.
Jurassic Park is frightening in the dark. The dinosaurs are running wild. Because it's MacArthur Park.
That's right.
But
And then he
Jurassic
did it all
Park.
in claymation.
He
He did the
did.
whole video in claymation.
I didn't think you guys
too.
would counter with songs.
We had Weird
Right.
Al right in the back there.
fuck.
I mean,
I
no
don't
one.
think Weird Al cared about Shrek.
Do you guys remember original? And I mean, okay, your original test footage for Shrek. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
I mean, compared to original moving animatronics,
A guy
let's say,
sitting in a head,
yeah,
fucking working the mouth,
versus
essentially.
like if
Just
we
think how good the animation looks for Shrek, though, at this time. This looks like a movie that could have came out now.
not as good as Toy Story, and Toy Story beat it by like 10 years.
Fair enough. Toy
So-
Story beat it by 6 years.
But that's what who's doing? Is that Illumination?
Toy
Those
Story.
Shrek?
This
No,
is
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks, that's it, yeah. And
I met a
DreamWorks.
guy at DreamWorks.
So Shark Tale,
Yeah.
I think, and Shrek. I'm trying to think what
Big
DreamWorks'
studio.
big
studio.
big
Shrek
ones
Tale.
have been. Shrek Tale.
it sounds like you guys are leaning Park. I think that's
I'm
probably
going
the right
Jurassic.
answer.
I'm going Jurassic Park.
yeah, just because of the Jewish connection.
Well,
I fought for you, Shrek,
also, I'll never forgive Shrek for making me see it instead of Fast and the Furious. So
but you loved it.
I did love Shrek in the end.
All right,
yeah.
it's Jurassic Park. There's nothing I can
But
do
I didn't know
about
about family yet.
that. Now this is it.
Guys, it's James Cameron versus Steven Spielberg. It's Terminator 2.
We did
Wow,
it
this
again.
is the
Jurassic
fight
Park in
they
the final.
always wanted
Right?
to.
You imagine putting them in the
Shit.
ring?
This is hard, man.
So when did these both come out?
So Jurassic Park is 96 or 94?
No, Jurassic Park I think
What's
is
on your pa- what's on
91.
your- 91? So
And
are they
Terminator 2 is
90? Are
like
they both
92,
90?
91.
What?
Jurassic Park domestically came out June 11th, 93.
So 93. So one's 92, and then Terminator 2's 91?
91.
Yeah. Okay.
91, 93. So the 90s of the 90s are in the best
If
filmmaking
Jurassic
era.
Park had Arnold Schwarzenegger, I would go Jurassic Park.
Get in the Jeep.
Stick completely still. They won't see you.
The Dilophosaurus is coming.
Him getting electrocuted.
We have Dog Sean. We have Dog Sean here.
Stupid Timmy.
And so wait, when did Terminator 2 come out?
91.
91. And
Okay,
then
so
Jurassic
pretty
Park's 93.
So
Yeah.
pretty dang close.
We got Dodson here. Got Dodson. See, no one cares.
No one cares.
I like that he'd be Wayne Knight.
Hang on. Hold on to your butts. Hold on to your butts.
He'd be Wayne Knight in that. In
Arnold's
Jurassic Park.
everybody.
Stupid animal. You didn't see the magic word.
That would be pretty funny if he's just this giant muscle-bound guy.
Dino
In the same raincoat.
Dino
You
DNA.
could kill the dinosaur, but no. Get the stick, you idiot. Oh, you idiot dinosaur.
I honestly think that would have pushed it right.
Yeah, I'm telling you. If Arnold was
Iconic.
Sam Neill is digging. Sam Neill doesn't get it, and Arnold gets it. Can you imagine? I don't know. I mean, my childhood is, hey, guess what? You're gonna get a dinosaur movie, versus a really cool, like, all things Terminator. I equate badassness. My first version of being a badass is leather boots, leather jacket, motorcycle shades,
sunglasses,
Stabbing Bill Paxton.
stabbing Bill Paxton, throwing guys onto barbecue grills and truck stops. Like, I mean, showing up naked in the back of a car park. Like, it's, but dinosaurs are dinosaurs. Like, there's this thing that is just, I don't know if it's because it's tropical and it's summer that I'm getting this, right? Like, just everything about Jurassic
when I think
Park.
about Terminator 2, I don't really think about summertime.
It's dark. It's mysterious.
Yeah.
Like,
I think about the world ending.
I do. I think about nuclear war.
Winter.
The temperature is nowhere near tolerable. But
And listen, folks, we might be grasping at straws here, but we really are just trying to find what separates these two.
yeah.
If the worst thing about Terminator 2 is I don't feel like summer, it's still pretty good.
It's still pretty good.
I don't get a watermelon sugar high off of Terminator 2.
But I do feel summer barbecue when the big truck motorcycle chase is happening in the empty ravine.
Sure. I mean, let's talk filmmakers then for a second,
Okay.
right? You've got a universal filmmaker in Steven Spielberg. He's a producer. He's a director.
Makes movies for everybody.
Everybody. But then you've got James Cameron, who makes movies for himself, right?
Because I was going to say everything before Avatar.
Diving into the Titanic. Let's make a movie about the Titanic.
I'm a fan of everything before Avatar.
So am I.
After Avatar, I'm like,
So am I.
ugh.
I'm done.
True Lies.
Yeah.
Done. Terminator.
True Lies so good. Terminator.
Let's just do this as who made
Titanic.
Avatar and who didn't.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, it's hard, man. Because both movies too, like specifically these two movies, are so pivotal in my childhood for movie watching. Like both these movies, I feel like changed my life. Fuck, that's hard. That's why I said if Arnold was in Jurassic Park, it'd be an easy win.
I'll start off the vote then. I'm going to go Jurassic Park.
Go Jurassic Park.
I think it just has everything a summer movie is. You know what I mean? It's got wonder.
It's got Jello.
It's got love.
Billy, what do you think?
Oh?
No. Billy doesn't want to say anything. I'm going Jurassic Park just on the fact that I've watched that movie more than Terminator 2. That's my only defining. Like,
Really?
I don't put Terminator 2 on in the background. I put Jurassic Park 2 on in the background.
I think I've seen Terminator 2 more.
I think you're right about that too for me. But I'm still going Jurassic Park.
I'm going Terminator 2 just because of Arnold. Arnold was the deciding
He's
factor.
Mr. Summer.
He's Mr. Blockbuster, Mr. Summer to me.
If Martin wasn't shitting his pants right now, I'd call him, but I don't want to put him on air.
Oh, he's going to be mad that Deadpool didn't make it.
I know.
He's going to be
He's done already that
furious.
Deadpool didn't make it.
You're not going to change my mind. Are you going to have your mind changed?
No, I'm Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park is it.
Hey, that's a fair... If Terminator 2 lost to anything and it was Jurassic Park, I'd say that's a great match.
You can't be mad about that.
It's a great match.
You can't.
It's a great match.
I did it.
Fuck me, eh? Between Terminator 2 and Jurassic Park.
Wow.
Telling you, man, Jurassic Park had Arnold, even for like a scene, like if he was Dino DNA. Shooter, clever girl.
Moving team, lift the
Just imagine him fighting that raptor for a bit with his bare hands, just for a bit.
And then he's riding it in the next scene.
That's
go Blue, go.
That's one big pile of shit.
Oh, fuck me.
So obviously we didn't get every blockbuster in here, and I'm sure you're at home wondering why didn't they include this? Why didn't they include this? Because
how did Rocky 2 make it?
It's Jimmy's right. Like if we didn't have enough time, but B, we rely on you.
This could also take years for us to really, and like Jimmy said, every blockbuster tops every blockbuster every year now.
That's the whole thing.
That's literally the thing.
And we kept it. We had money. We had release dates. We had we had a very
we adjusted
narrow,
for inflation.
Hey, and everyone should be happy that it's not an MCU movie.
Because we could have just done that 6
Yeah,
times.
that could have been. What Disney movie is the best blockbuster?
You're gonna
Man 2.
You want to.
The Lion King live action?
Yeah, like
It's not fair to put Endgame and have all these billion-dollar successes, right? Because something that won isn't a billion-dollar success.
we could argue off of money. Oh, Jurassic Park did.
It's
make
also-
$1 billion.
It did make $1 billion over time.
Yeah.
But it's also like the $1 billion movie is a thing of our time. That's
Yes.
not like, you know what I mean? That's the thing in the last 10 years.
300 million in
Movies
the theaters,
didn't make $1
500
billion in their opening weekend.
No.
Like, what the fuck is that?
They never will. But these 200 million rips, these Deadpool rips that are happening are so market focused. Where before it was risk,
That's
right? You didn't have algorithm. You didn't have all
testing.
Toy markets and blah 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 for sure.
You
San
had
Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah,
you
no,
had
that's
an
true.
Original idea.
That's true.
You went with it.
Yeah.
You risked it, and you did it.
That's
and,
why,
and it lives
like,
on.
And just looking at this, that's why Disney's latest panel was so brutal, because it was just all the sequels to everything that made money.
Right?
Toy Story 5, Frozen 3,
Incredibles 3.
like all like
Why?
it's just
Why?
money. It's because of this.
They
'cause
know
of the
our
Blockbuster.
generation and they know what we want
Well,
to see.
this
Right.
wasn't
Apparently.
These studios were not owned by boards and by corporations.
And Disney.
Who pays to go to movies, Michael? The parents do, and they want to see something that they've seen before.
That's true.
You're not wrong at all there, Jimmy, at all. Like, it's also, too, is the kids are, like, unfortunately, like, the Disney era we grew up in was really exciting because we didn't really have sequels. Like, Toy Story 2 was a big deal, but they didn't even make a Bug's Life 2. They didn't make so many other
Dude,
sequels.
we thought Terminator
right?
2 was the first one. So
it's like, yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. But now it's like, yeah, like kids are singing the same song from Frozen 1, and when they do Frozen 3, it's that song showing up again. And
let
they're
it
like,
go.
Right.
Let it go.
Yeah.
I can't wait to say you're welcome for the moon and the stars and the sun.
Fuck.
I do a pretty good The Rock.
You do.
I do.
You do.
That was really good.
Fucking Moana.
Oh, right, Moana 2. And they're doing a live action one with him,
Yeah,
too.
I don't get that.
What the hell is happening?
But the whole fun of Moana is how big his head is and how tiny his waist is. Like,
Yeah.
don't do that in real. Like, we do not need a real.
Well, he's going to wear a wig, isn't he? He has hair in the fucking...
That's
is he going
funny.
to have hair in the... Yeah. I don't know. Anyways.
Listener, if you, as mentioned, if you would like to submit an idea, the link for our voicemail is in the show notes, as well as all of our social media. You can hit us up online. We revisit these. We have conversations about them if your submissions come through. Don't be ashamed. And do an Arnold impression if you want. for
Oh,
this
that would make me
episode.
happy.
Yeah, that'd be really fun. And
Put the cookie down.
yeah.
Now.
I love the smell
Oh,
of
your
napalm in the
wife's
morning.
cookies.
Like,
Who said you could have my cookie?
leave your information. We'd love to hear from you. And if you don't want to leave your real name, use your favorite movie character's name. That's fine.
Your
We'd love-
favorite Arnold character.
Your favorite
name.
Arnold character
Yeah.
for this one specifically.
Cocaina.
Yeah. If this is your first time listening to us ramble on and be idiots, we'd love it if you subscribe to the show because it's the easiest way to stay in the know. If you're a long-time listener, you can skip this part because you've heard our ending a million times. But if you're new to the show, subscribe to it. Check us out online. If you're local and you've never heard of us before, we do trivia nights, as we mentioned at the top of the show.
You have 249 episodes of catch up.
254,
Yeah,
actually.
you got a
Nice.
bit of time.
Yeah, you
And
got-
trivia.
yeah.
We're doing more trivia.
Lots of trivia, lots of movies at the park, lots of stuff. You stay in the know. If you're a Manitoba resident and you want to see more of us, that's
We're
the easiest
live.
way to do it. I've been Dr. Grant.
I'm looking for Turbo Man doll, not Booster.
This is a homemade explosive device.
Jimmy, you want to do an Arnold? No?
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
Watch all the movies, listener. Let us know what your summer blockbuster is. And we're going to say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
I love you.
Oh, if you have any problems, dial information. Thank you for calling.